Midnight music. Midnight music. Midnight music. Midnight music. Midnight music. Midnight music.
Alexis, you're gonna have to tell us who is S. So what? Apparently, they are fans of you.
That's our friend Rico. Hi, Rico. He has been on the show doing co-host stuff. If me or one of the girls can't make it, he is our satellite member, which means he does all the glory but none of the work.
Oh, so it's kind of like Slack, or like what Slack used to be for us.
Yeah, but we love Rico.
Oh yeah, we don't like Slack.
So he is.
Yeah, Slack's all right.
No, not that Rico. Not that Rico.
Uncle Rico?
Rico, I love you. I can't pronounce your full name, man, because I'm too white to pronounce it.
Nice.
But he's been like one of the biggest supporters of the podcast since it started, and he's a really sweet guy. So he's like my little brother.
Nice.
Taquan's never gonna play nice.
I know.
Yeah, I mean we'll try, but we'll see what happens. Taquan, now that I have your gamer tag on PlayStation, we need to get you, myself, and Charles doing a GM mode together.
Come on, man. PC Master Race.
No, not happening. Even though I have like 4 PCs in this damn apartment at any given time.
You got laptops. No, you have a desktop.
I have a
right?
desktop.
You have a desktop.
I do. I produce the stream from the desktop.
What's your build? What's your graphics card?
Oh God, it's I don't fucking remember. I know it's NVIDIA something. I'll have to look it up and send you. I know we went through this when I bought it during the panorama, aka the pandemic. But it's there somewhere. Because I'll do play like Game Pass games on here for like I've done Flight Simulator on this computer, and it's wild.
Yeah, Flight Simulator is interesting. Jazz's dad loves Flight Simulator.
It's crazy. They're doing an update to Flight Simulator on Xbox coming up. I watched it during their game showcase, where like you can actually like do different jobs of like different aircrafts. So you can like deliver stuff via helicopters and all this shit like that instead of just flying around.
I don't know what it is about simulator games. Like surprisingly, God, what's it called? Power Wash Simulator is like
what?
You power wash things.
That's amazing.
Like it's just like your dad just power washing, like your house, like your truck, the lunar module on the moon. Like literally, dude, you just power wash. You just clean dirt off of surfaces. That's the game. That's it.
I really thought it didn't get any weirder than like Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator's fun.
Goat Simulator's fun because you're a goat and like you have guns and stuff. This is literally just your power washing.
Okay, goats should not have guns.
Have you ever played Untitled Goose Game? It's on the Nintendo Switch.
No, I haven't.
I've heard of it.
You go around, you're this
game,
and it's like the art in it is beautiful. Like I can't really explain it, but it's just like you're this goose, and you go around town in this little village, and you cause absolute chaos. Like you steal people's like sandwiches and stuff, and then I got to like. It's scary because my daughter plays it, and she got to. Sorry if my phone keeps falling. I got it just before the.
You're good. We've had worse.
But I know last time it was my dog, and now it's my phone. So sorry about that. But at one point, my daughter was playing the game, and the goose had a knife in its mouth. And it starts running around chasing people, and she thought it was the funniest thing ever. I had to sleep with like one eye open.
I mean, I also think it's the funniest thing ever as well. Goose with a knife.
She just had this little sadistic laugh, and I was just like, okay, you're gonna go back to playing Minecraft here. Take this.
Go back to Animal Crossing now.
She's great. Like, it's funny. Like, she loves Animal Crossing. She loves Minecraft. She like can just talk about Minecraft, and I'm like, Meanwhile, I had no idea what the hell she's saying, but I'm like, because I remember when I was a kid, I was into a lot of weird stuff, and my mom kind of had to sit there with me.
Yeah.
She tells me that she goes, I love you. My mom told me, she's like, I love you, but God, Sailor Moon made no sense to me, but I didn't tell you. I'm just like, oh God.
Sailor Moon was pretty popular.
It continues into adulthood. I tried explaining Naruto to my mom when I was watching it like a few months
good
ago when I was at home.
job.
And
Oh, yeah.
I was like, Mom, don't worry about it. We're gonna watch Rick and Morty instead. It's gonna make even less sense. My mom liked Rick and Morty though. She's like, this show is funny. But like, it just so happened to be the episode where Beth is sleeping with Clone Beth, and it's like, oh god damn it. The one episode I watched with my mom is like lesbian clones. I was like, shit. But she was laughing. She liked it.
It's weird when you get older because it's stuff like you think you can't watch with your parents actually start enjoying, and you're just like, what in the heck?
I have a theory that the parents always enjoyed it, they just didn't tell you until you were old enough to understand why it was fucking funny.
I just found out my mom still watches South Park. Like, I did not know that. She used to watch South Park with me and my brother because the thing was like, if I tell her no, she's going to watch it anyway because I told her no. And she told me the other day, she's like, yeah, I still watch South Park. And I'm like, really?
Yeah, it's a great show.
She's like, yeah.
My dad loves Family Guy.
So does my dad.
She goes, I always liked that. I'm like, you told me you hated South Park. Like, you can't do this to me now.
My dad just loves the asshole characters in all cartoons, so like he's a big Stewie fan.
What the deuce?
He thinks Stewie's a fucking riot.
He is a riot.
He likes Stewie. I think my dad's a huge fan of Cartman. Just all but asshole characters. This is one that my dad's a fan of.
I miss Chef.
Oh, Isaac Hayes.
I think I got
My
it.
dad liked
Stay.
wrestling when the Divas came out. Yeah. Your father was a great man, Freds.
Cheers to that, brother.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everybody's dad appreciated the Divas coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I miss the Divas.
Just not that belt.
Yeah, it's not the butterfly belt.
Yeah.
The rejected Barbie accessory.
Yeah, which they made a take your time.
What's that, kid?
They made a custom Divas belt for like for the Bella Twins. Their signature series belt. Yeah.
Your favorite what?
It was like, ooh, really?
Okay, love you. Okay, do you want to come meet these guys real quick?
Yes, let's meet children. Maybe the first real child on the show.
Yeah, Slack's always a child.
Slack is a child because we did meet his dad on a pre-show once.
Sorry, my kiddo came in and first she scared the crap out of me because she moves like a ninja. So
How old is she?
she is 8. She's going to turn 9 in October this year.
Ooh.
And
Second grade. I miss second grade.
she's going into 3rd grade, man. And
I miss
grade,
recess,
oh
dude.
God, like I found a picture of her like when she was 4, and I cried a little bit because she's growing up, but it's like so cool to watch her become her own little person. And like, she's smart as hell. I know everyone says this about their kid, but my kid is smart as hell. Like, she's sharp. Whew, she's too smart for her own good. Like, she's literally going to rule the world or destroy it one day.
When did she get her own phone?
Ooh, it's a good question.
She actually already has one. It's for emergencies.
Okay. The child restriction phones?
We have it on child restriction settings.
Perfect.
Like, she can't go on regular YouTube. So she definitely can't see me doing this unless, I watch it. She watches with me afterwards. The only reason she has a phone before people start saying some stuff is that she was on the phone with her friend and she had my phone. And one of the rules was don't go through my phone. I don't have anything gross or nasty like in there, but again, I do have some stuff that I don't want her to see. And so she's like, oh yeah, I sent some pictures to my friend on your phone. So, I'm sitting there looking at this and it's like 2 8-year-olds talking to each other is the most chaotic thing like in the world, man.
I wish I could just sit in on that messaging conversation via phone with 2 8-year-olds.
Oh my God, it's funny because I'm just thinking like, what in I talk about when I was 8 with my friends? Like nothing, probably.
Listen,
I don't remember.
want to remember what
I
I
also
talked.
don't remember.
I don't want
Yeah,
to
I couldn't
remember.
tell you. I couldn't tell you.
So I found this picture and it was a meme of Kirby and he's holding a sign. And the sign says, "Crush me between your thighs." And I start freaking out because her friend is using her mom's phone. And I'm like, oh, shh. I mean, it's funny now, but like back, I was absolutely mortified. So I had to like call the friend's mom, and I'm like, well, first I got onto her because I'm like, I told you not to go through my phone, and she's like, well, it's Kirby, and we both like Kirby. I'm like, did you read
simple
what was on the
simple
sign?
logic of an 8-year-old? That makes sense to me now.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh my God, child.
The awareness hasn't fully
And
developed yet.
I wasn't direct. It wasn't about anybody. It was just a funny meme that I saw because I'm meme trash. I'm a meme collector.
I don't blame you.
And
I don't blame you at all for that.
I thought it was funny, but then I saw it and then I called the mom and I'm like, I am so sorry. Like, I told her not to go through my phone. I mean, it's like I don't have anything gross or nasty on my phone, but I do have like adult conversations with my friends.
Yeah,
As
of
you
course.
should.
You're an adult.
Yeah.
You're an adult.
And yeah, and she's
our
like,
Discord channel.
yeah, she's like, I'm fine, it's cool, but I was like, I was mortified. And then like, so me and my husband talked, and it's like, yeah, she needs her own phone because she got in trouble for it because I told her not to go through it. And she's like, I didn't go through your phone. I'm like, how did this come up then?
Listen, better to be proactive than anything else. So,
Hey, you know what? My mom told me, she's like, you guys are going to have to deal with parenting with a whole new thing because she goes, I don't know a thing about technology. I don't know anything about this. And it's weird, man, because I have like even kids YouTube found some weird stuff on there, and I'm just like, this cannot be for kids.
Sometimes it's even worse, which is why YouTube made it part of their policy where you have to you have to say like this is made
kids
for
are
kids.
are not made for kids. Yeah.
Yeah, so like for us, when we upload our channel, like up videos to our channel, we have to make sure we say no.
Yeah, no.
Because well, one, there's a difference between kid-friendly content and content made for kids. So if Ricky and I didn't say fuck all the time,
Which we do,
we would still say no because while it's kid-friendly, it's not content directed for children.
Exactly.
And like YouTube Kids would scare me because it's like, well, where's the pedophile gonna go? They're gonna go to YouTube Kids.
That's the thing that scares me because I see so many of these videos, and then she's calling me real quick. But I just want to say this.
We're gonna get started soon, anyways.
I have watched so many videos of like, and if anyone's like a parental figure or like you look after small kids and they watch Minecraft YouTubers, I've been watching videos left and right of like YouTubers who play Minecraft getting busted for being like pedophiles and asking for like CP and all this stuff, and I'm just like, she's never going on regular YouTube until she's 18 at this point. No.
Yeah.
Plus, my husband has her phone linked up to his phone, so he can see everything that she's doing.
Right.
So even if she tries something,
I'm glad things like that exist because, like, I'm not a parent, but like, I just something I think about quite often. Like, what age do I give a kid a phone?
That's a great question.
And it's just like there is no right answer. Like, I tell my girlfriend, it's like, yeah, it's whenever other kids get them. Pretty much, it's gonna be my answer.
Yeah, there's a lot involved with that.
When to give your kid a phone?
Yeah, she's really great with this. She takes better care of her phone than most adults that I know of.
Yeah. Like those parental restrictions and like phone mirroring and stuff like that. Like I'm very glad those things exist because I'm wanting to shit like a fucking hawk when I have a kid.
It's gonna be so paranoid.
She's only allowed.
You did what?
She's only allowed to call certain people. I have to know who she gives her number to. I go through. I mean, sounds like an invasion of privacy, but I go through her phone when she's sleeping. I know her password. It's not that hard to guess.
Hey, she's a child. Yeah. She has no privacy.
Yeah, not until you're 18.
Yeah,
you don't have any. There's no freedom for you.
I just like I don't want to do like you're under my house, you're under my rules kind of thing. I just want to be like, no, there's a lot of sickos on the internet, and I want to make sure that you're sick, you don't get involved with something.
Better to be realistic than to lie.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to go to prison if someone messes with my kid. Let's just say that. So, but I gotta go. She's yelling for me real quick, so I'll be right back.
Yeah.
It's probably
Sure,
for
take
both.
your time.
Take your
I'll
time,
be right
yeah.
back.
We're gonna get started. Most of our, when our guest Alexis returns, we are gonna start with welcome. Thank you guys for joining us for the Meat Slapping Majesty pre-show. And don't worry, Rico, we are gonna have Alexis answer that question. Hopefully you stay, Rico, because we're gonna need some insider input since you are a fan of Down for the Count Wrestling podcast for great women who do that show on a regular basis. So this is one of our biggest shows of the year. It is our Money for the Marks. This is what our seventh or eighth one. Seventh one, right?
I don't know. I think it's the seventh
Whatever. It's
one.
one of the shows we really look forward to. So we're going to talk a lot about that. We're going to do a little bit
You're a
of
fish.
an AEW recap because Forbidden Door was delightful. I'll say delightful.
Yeah, the first one was 2016. So 16, 17, 18,
Seven.
19, 20, 1, 2, 3, so
Was
8.
it 8?
Yeah, because the 2016 is the first
That's
one.
when Dean cashed
Yeah,
in,
come
right?
2016. Yeah, it's when Seth, Roman, and Dean all had in the same
Yeah,
night.
yeah. That was also the same night that Cleveland won the title.
The cow?
Yeah, that was the Kyrie shot.
Huh.
Because remember, we watched Money in the Bank, and then in one of your roommates in the other room were watching the NBA Finals, and we moved over and watched and we moved over and watched the finals real quick.
So I totally forgot all about that.
Yeah.
To be honest, I had no idea.
Yeah, it was a weird night. But yeah, no, that was great. It's our 8th annual Money for the Marks. Now that I know the freaking number, we can actually, when we get some Money for the Marks 10, we'll make it like a big deal.
Yeah. This is your anniversary show, too.
It is my anniversary show because my first ever podcast was on Juneteenth. That's when Money for the Marks, the first one, was.
Yes.
Oh, God, I remember that intro, too, when I realized it was Juneteenth, too. Because do you remember that intro I did?
Yeah, I still listen to that. I listen to it every now
I
and
was
then.
like, guys, it's Juneteenth. It's money for the Marks. I go, we freed the slaves.
That's right. Like, we freed the slaves on wrestling podcasting. So this is the 8th Money for the Marks, but the 7th anniversary.
7th anniversary, yes, that is correct. Yes. So this is Money for the Marks 8. Yes, Money for the Marks 8. There we go. Yeah, that's it. All right, Money for the Marks 8. Are you ready to go? Ready to get the show on the road?
Yeah, let me start recording. That's kind of what I do
That
over
would
here.
probably be a good idea.
All right, I'll go. All set, ready?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Midnight Music.
Coming up this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, ladies and gentlemen, it is the most wonderful time of the year and one of our biggest shows of the year, our Money in the Bank preview show, featuring one of our very, very dear friends and special guests from the Down for the Count Women's Wrestling podcast. Alexis is here to join us, and not only are we going to be talking about Money in the Bank, we're also going to be talking about a door that was forbidden in Canada, but forbidden no more, with a pretty epic AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling pay-per-view, and we don't say that often, but sit back, relax, and make sure Donald Trump doesn't go on Fox News again. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Kings of the Rings podcast, episode 345, Money for the Marks 2023, our 8th one ever, 7th annual Money for the 7th anniversary of Money for the Marks, exclusively on Wrestle Addict Radio, and it starts right now. I don't think I've ever...
Just this audio tapes can go on Fox.
Yeah, I've never seen a worse criminal.
Oh, the hamburger.
I mean, seriously, the Hamburglar is a better criminal than former disgraced President Donald Trump. Like, the Hamburglar.
I know, man. He's got away with it this long. So, like, he's wiggled out of every single crime he's ever committed.
Nah,
I think he'll be
he's
all
dead
right.
to rights now. He's dead to rights.
I mean, the hamburger is more of like a meth head or a crack head. That's the energy he gives me. I mean, he's just trying to steal people's food. He's not giving out, like, government secrets or anything like that.
Dude, the crazy thing is, he's gonna win a nomination from jail. Like, that's the crazy thing.
Hell,
Yeah.
America.
Yeah. America, crazy time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 345. Money for the Marks. It is one of our biggest episodes of the year, if not the biggest episode of the year. It's actually the episode, or the name of the episode that we continually do, besides Rumble of Royalties, Money for the Marks. It's the episode that I debuted on like 7, 8 years ago, which is kind of fucking nuts. Of course, I'm your host, King Ricky Rose, and we are with a special guest this week. Kayfabe will not be joining us, but we are going to be joined by one of our esteemed guests who has been on the show before. She is representing the Down for the Count Wrestling podcast, and she goes by the name of Alexis. Alexis, how are you today?
Doing good. How about yourself, man? I missed you.
Yeah, we missed you too. You're great. I'm glad we're like TikTok friends. We send us really dumb memes and TikTok videos all the time. So, but it's good to have you back.
That's the best thing to use TikTok for, honestly.
Yeah,
It's the only thing to use TikTok for.
yes. Yeah, TikTok has saved my life this year. And of course, always with me, with 77 days since his last incident. Congratulations, Will. You are progressing very, very well. Will Tarashak, how are you?
I don't even remember what the incident was. What was the incident? I don't even remember. What did I
That
do?
is for me to know and you to figure out. It's going to be great.
Oh, God. Well, actually, I know we don't want to talk politics on this podcast, but imagine if Trump's a felon, he won't be able to vote in the election he's going to win.
It's big if.
meaning the primary. So, riddle me that one, Batman. What a country. My name is Will Tarashuk, T as in Thomas, Arashuk, a professional podcast host, here for another fun, adventurous episode of King's Wings podcast. Very excited.
Yes.
My favorite show of the year, man. I thought it was last week.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a great show. And yes, Chris, that was the Ambrose cash-in night when all 3 members of the Shield held the
It's the
title.
night his career ended.
That was my favorite Money in the Bank, honestly.
Yeah.
Just that end was just so, I don't even know. It was like emotional.
Yeah, I remember Will just screaming. I don't want to fall.
Yeah, I did that. What a first impression. It's literally the night we met.
Yeah, that was the night we met.
That was the night we met.
I had just moved up to Tennessee. I was staying with my mom, and I had just got back into wrestling. So like Ambrose was my guy. And I screamed when he won Money in the Bank. And when he cashed it in, I woke up my mom, my dad, my daughter, who was a baby at the time, the dogs, like they that night. And I think that was just a feel good moment of Money in the Bank, honestly.
Yeah, all right, so a question for you, Alexis. Since you being a female-bodied individual, what is the John Moxley, Dean Ambrose lore? Because we've had many of women on this show, and a lot of them are huge Mox fans, or in some aspect very attracted to him. What is it?
Honestly, for me, is that he has a great sense of humor. Like, if you can make me laugh, I'm pretty much yours. Like, he's cute. He's a grown ass man who has dimples when he smiles.
Whenever that happens.
But now not in AEW because he's going through his emo phase again. But like when he was in WWE and he smiled, he has like dimples, and he's just making sure my child don't hear me. He's got a nice ass. Like he's got the perfect proportion waist, and then like he's all ass, or he used to be, because now he's getting kind of
husband.
Yeah. It's just I just liked him because like the way his character was, and then when I found out that's like how he is, it's just like that's what kind of attracted me to him, because like what you see is what you're getting.
Yeah.
And I also just he's funny, and it's so weird seeing him with like pictures of his daughter. Because I'm just like the first person who breaks that little girl's heart's gonna get like stomped. Like, so bad. And I'm like, I'm gonna pray for you. That's like Triple H's when his daughters go through their first heartbreak. I'm just like, I don't want to hear like Lemmy blasting in my front lawn at like 3 a.m. in the morning.
Triple H outside with his freaking leather jacket and jeans.
Yeah, he's got the sledgehammer. I just think, he doesn't do much for me now in AEW, but like before, like he started having the complications in AEW, like when he went to rehab, which I'm really proud of him for going for. And he was just really cute, but now it's just like And then he became a dad, and I'm like, hello, DILF. But now it's just kind of like he's like that guy. If you go to like a punk hardcore show, he's always like the guy that's there for some reason. I don't know. It's hard to
I know
explain
exactly
now,
what you mean.
but
I'm going next
Okay.
week. I'll let you know if
See,
he's
it must
there.
be. It's got to be the
Cool,
tortured.
thank you.
It's got to be the tortured soul allure.
ugh, it's like I don't like wrestlers who are pushing their 40s, like Finn Balor's doing like right now, saying, "I gave my youth. They took my youth." Like, dude, what are you talking about? You're 40. Like, stop.
I wish I'd look like Finn
that-
Balor
that-
when I turned 40. Like, Jesus Christ.
Really? I wish I could just look like Trish Stratus or Lita, because I'm about 2 years away from 40.
Yeah.
That would
Trish,
be great. But
amazing. Thank you, Trish, if we didn't say it already.
You're welcome, Rick.
Thank you. Well, so let's get this party going. We are going to talk about Money in the Bank and all this other fun stuff. But first, we got to do a little bit of a recap of AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door. And I must say, Mr. Tarashuk, I was sports entertained. I was impressed.
I was. I thought it was a great show, great crowd, great presentation. Love the set.
That is also
match-
the collision set.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Match placement was pretty solid. I like how CM Punk was second because fuck him.
Booed him out the fucking building.
Very interesting. He played it up very well. I am so ready for heel CM Punk or tweener CM Punk or just CM Punk in general. His match also went pretty long, so he's got the gas in the tank. He played it really well, and yeah, I thought the show was excellent. I thought it was probably one of the best shows they've ever done. I haven't seen an AEW show since the last time CM Punk was on pay-per-view, and this one was way better than that one. Not so many gimmicks, only one bleeding guy or one bleeding match, I should say.
Yeah.
And I was thoroughly impressed. It made me want to watch AEW again, to be honest.
Alexis, well, did you get to watch Forbidden Door at all?
I did not get to watch Forbidden Door. I was actually up in Ohio. I was at the Punk and Drublic Festival going on with NoFX putting on their last shows. But I did
what?
yeah, me and my
That's way
husband,
better, dude.
we went up there, and my husband's a huge NoFX fan. Like, he looks like Fat Mike, and I have always loved Fat Mike, so it kind of goes hand in hand, too. So there you go. But I did see the reaction that Punk got out of the audience. And I'm just kind of like, well, this is what you guys wanted, right? You wanted him back. So what are you doing? If you guys want to hear about, gonna do a quick cross promotion. If you guys want to hear our feelings about CM Punk, go check out the show, because I don't want to bog down this show. Go check out Down for the Count, because we are pretty open about our feelings about Phil Brooks. I did like the fact that he made a joke. He's like, I'm gonna keep trying. I won't give up. Just like your Toronto Maple Leafs. And I was like, oh, damn,
we had
right for the jugular.
Yeah, listen, heels are going to heal. We did have our own Maple Leaf in the crowd. Mr. Frets from Fretzelmania Podcast was there for his first pay-per-view ever. So, congratulations, Mr. Frets.
Hell yeah, Frets.
I really hope you enjoyed yourself and you made it out alive and not drunk, which seems like you did since you're here. You appreciated the Leaf show. Good. A hockey fan with a sense of humor. Thank God.
Yeah, Frets, what was it like meeting Slack? Put that in the chat. I want to know what he smells like.
They're very few and far in between, because hockey fans, I'm telling you, they get passionate, man. Like, holy.
Yeah, they're psychotic.
I'm aware. I'm an Islander
They're
fan.
psychotic.
You pre-drank? Oh, you mean pre-game, but I got you.
My husband's a Penguins fan. I know how crazy they can get.
Really?
But, oh my God.
Penguins
Yeah,
fan?
I'm married into a Pittsburgh family. I'm married into a Pittsburgh family.
See?
Yuck.
God damn it! It's you know what it is. It's the Crosby thing with the Penguins.
He's such a sweet guy,
he can
though.
kiss my ass, fuck
Like,
him.
oh, okay.
I don't care about
I was really hoping, and then we could talk wrestling, but I was really hoping the Kraken, that's my new team. But like, I was really hoping they got so far, but I'm like, this could be the year we have cryptid Stanley Cup with the Devils, which are my boys too, versus the Kraken.
Devils are better. I get that.
And then, like, I wanted them to play with each other, and then I was like, I still want them to win, but like for a second-year team, Kraken got further than anybody was expecting, especially after being like one of the worst ranked teams last season.
Listen,
Sorry, I could talk about hockey
it's okay.
forever.
The NHL knows expansion because they just load up their expansion teams and they go to the playoffs like immediately. It's kind of nuts. By the way, speaking of which, because Vegas won the freaking Stanley Cup this year, but real quick, you know what it is about Sidney Crosby for me? He's got that Tom Brady stench.
Oh, come on. He's not that
He does. He does. He has the
He's
Tom
not that
Brady stench.
bad.
Does he also kiss his son on the lips?
Probably.
Him.
Okay,
him,
can
Brady,
we-
Titus O'Neil.
Yeah.
Can we all just say that we don't like Alexander Ovechkin, though? Can we all agree on that?
Listen, I
like
respect
Ovechkin
I respect
as
Ovi.
the most mid hockey fan ever. I think Ovechkin's the shit.
I respect Ovi. I think Ovi's a fucking great player. That man's an assassin on the ice. Yeah. I can't stand Crosby. I can't stand Crosby with a burning passion. Go Islanders. Anywho, Forbidden Door. Back to Forbidden Door. It was actually pretty good. Like Will said, match placement was kind of a little off. Like for instance, like Bryan Danielson and Kazuchika Okada should be the proper main event for all intents and purposes. Like those are the two biggest draws, and it was the main event. The only problem was your hometown Canadian boy Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay stole the show and put on a main event match on not the main event slots.
Like, well, they threw out Sting and Jericho to kind of cool them
Oh,
down.
that
and
cooled down a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that match was not the other one, but I heard that the Jericho Sting one was like the stink of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those things like you look at that match and you look at the people in that match, and that would have been a fantastic match 8 years ago.
10 years ago? No, because I've seen that match when WCW was still up and running.
Yeah, it just didn't flow at all.
It would have been a great Impact match.
Yes, there it is.
Like
there it
TNA
is.
2009, that would have been the match.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, can't wait to talk about that guy. Which I didn't know he was actually in the PC like 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, he was fired from WWE. We'll talk about that in a second. But Forbidden Door, I was
no
I was
way.
really impressed with it. JAS versus Hot Topic was not good. That's a very good analogy there, friends. Very
is pretty
good
funny.
analogy.
That is pretty funny. Sting keeps no-selling going through tables, and I don't get it.
He's too he's too old to move. Like this,
Yeah, I feel like he wears hockey pads.
he has to at this point. He's a fragile man.
Like so he
That
doesn't
does
get
make-
like break his spine. Like that's why he probably can't move so well. He just wears padding underneath his floppy t-shirt.
It's a shame too.
No, because if you notice on his legs, he's been wearing where it looks like there's been outer padding on his bodysuit, like around his thighs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might, because I don't know. Sting is one of those guys. Tiff called him highly.
63 years
Yeah.
old.
He's like highly favorable, highly blessed. Is what she says, because like he's a non-problematic fave. Because when's the
True.
last time you heard Sting acting up?
Never.
And he shows up. I wish he wouldn't wrestle, because that's like watching my dad wrestle. And I'm just like, and my dad's 70-something years old, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, you know what, dude? It's I mean, you're in way better shape and most of your constituents, and you can walk, so that's a plus for you. Way to go. But let's hang up the face paint, Stinger.
Yeah, just
come
give
on.
us Steve. I'm cool with Steve. Steve's cool. I've met Steve at an Access. Steve's awesome. We don't need Sting anymore.
Yeah, Sting is the man.
Yeah.
I do love Sting.
I love Sting too. But let's get to the main event of the night, which was Okada versus Danielson, which was a very technical match, like pure technical wrestling match. Very, very good. I mean, Okada always delivers, but it was weird to see Kazuchika Okada tap out to Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, but he fucked up Danielson's arm big time, though.
He broke his
that
arm.
break was nuts.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
I mean, it's a clean break, so you know that's a good thing. But still, it's just like the dude broke his forearm and he still wrestled like 10 extra minutes. Like, I love Daniel Bryan, but I'm just like, dude, you are not the young spring chicken that you used to be. You got kids and a wife at home. Like, you need to maybe slow it down a bit, bro.
Well, you know what he's thinking now? Well, that was fun. Time to go back to WWE and retire.
Did my bingo halls. Now I'm out of here.
Like, what else? Who else does he possibly have to wrestle? Like MJF, maybe?
Maybe.
He's already wrestled. Hasn't he wrestled in
I don't know.
Yeah.
He might have. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, what else is on his bucket? Because he went to AEW to do bucket lists, which, hey, man, I get
Yeah.
it. Like, I would have done it too, but at some point, it's like how much, like you said, how much is left? How much more do you got to do?
Also, like
Right.
he's like Daniel Bryan's one of these people who.
He did have the Iron Man. Thank you, Freds.
Daniel Bryan is one of these people who will will keep on wrestling until he dies, and someone has to stop him. And clearly, Brie hasn't been able to do it. Triple H tried.
Oh, Goldberg.
You know, and so it's one of those things where, like, I get scared for it because Daniel Bryan has had concussion after concussion after concussion. Now he's breaking bones. I'm just like, what is left for you? Like, you can, like, Daniel Bryan, you can hang it up. Like, we're good. Like, you can go, Daniel. Like, it's fine. Like, your legacy is solidified. I'm just worried that he's going to be in the ring too long and something completely catastrophic is going to happen to him.
And that's the last thing, honestly. Like, if I like a wrestler, if I don't like their persona, if I do like their persona, at the end of the day, that is somebody's, husband, wife, child, grandpa. I mean, I don't know. It's important to somebody, and you don't want to see that happen. Like, the Ric Flair match with him and Jarrett. I didn't watch it. Nicole took the one for the team, so we appreciate that greatly. And she said the entire time he was like trying to breathe, and it looked like at one point he was clutching his chest, looked like he was having a heart attack, and I'm just like, Ric Flair will not stop until he dies in this ring. And I'm gonna say something really controversial.
Go right ahead.
You mentioned how Brie is kind of not putting the foot down.
She tried once, and it got him out of WWE, and then he's in AEW.
But he's still in AEW doing this stuff. And this is the thing that kind of irks me about another wrestling wife, but I don't want to say her name because she already gets enough hate, so I'm not trying to send hate to her, if that makes sense.
I know who it is. Continue.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure it out. Please give me
I
another
figured
hint.
it out. She served in the military.
Her name's... No, it's not
Oh,
her.
never mind.
She's married to one of the guys in the Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh, gotcha. Continue.
Yeah. She, I'm really not trying to paint her out to be like a bad person because she already gets enough shit. She's not one of my favorite people, but, I am going to defend her, though. She lets her husband, who is the same age my husband is right now, and she still let him go out there, do these stupid hardcore matches, these stupid stipulation matches where he's getting busted open every week. And it's just like, why are you not stopping him from doing this? Like, putting the foot down, say, you need to stop doing this dumb shit. You're pushing 40. You can't keep busting your head open. You can't keep getting hit in the back with, barbed wire bats or something like that. Because God bless Mick Foley. I forget that Mick Foley's only 10 years older than maybe 10, 15 years older than me. But he looks like he could be my grandpa.
Yeah, he can.
That scares me. And he tells people...
Foley's lucky to be alive. Foley is 58 years old. Just turned 58 in June.
So he's only 20 years older than me. He looks like he's in his 70s, and that's no shame to Mick. But
And he only has one ear.
Yeah. And I was watching that thing with him and Taker, rewatching Hell in a Cell,
that was
and
so
Taker's
much
like,
fun.
he goes,
It was.
he's like, I'm looking over the ring, the cage. I'm going, come on, Mick, tell me you're breathing. Show me you're breathing. Like, what are you doing? It's just like, my husband used to do stupid stuff when we were dating, and it got to the point where I just didn't want to put up with it anymore. And I told him, I said, you have to make a choice. Either you keep acting like this or I'm gone.
Ooh.
And because I'm not putting up with the dumb stuff. And I just wish it's like someone's like, well, he just probably doesn't listen to her. Well, that's an issue that they're going to have to deal with because there's a miscommunication somewhere. If you're with somebody, if you're married to somebody, or you're in a relationship with somebody for a long period of time, there needs to be an open line of communication. And if I'm telling someone no and they still go off and do something, I'll be like, you didn't listen to a damn thing that I said, did you?
Yeah.
And it's just like, put your foot down, wrestling wives, because a lot of the husbands are getting older. They can't keep doing this stuff for much longer.
Yeah, no.
Don't listen.
And I hear you. Like, I totally hear you. And we don't know what happens behind closed doors. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Brie does have those conversations. She pretty much hinted to it on Twitter.
Right.
But realistically, right? It's like, say Brie put a foot down. Brian's choosing wrestling. I'm sorry. He's gonna choose wrestling.
Yes, he is.
And I think most wrestlers would. And it's just like, well, now it comes to a situation where, do you want to lose your family being a single mom, or just let your husband do crazy shit until he learns? And like, realistically, as a wife, realistically, what can you actually do? Because at the end of the day, he's a man. He's going to make his own decisions. Again, I'm not married. So like, I understand wanting to put your foot down and having that communication. And I hope they do for both of their sakes, because he does have responsibilities. I do agree with you. He should not be going through these death matches. And Daniel Bryan should not be breaking his fucking arm for a wrestling match. But realistically, really, you put your foot down, like, what can you actually do? You can't hop in their skin and control their brain.
Not Chad.
True. And I would never be like, you need to pick between family and wrestling, but I would kind of add in there, do you want to, and this is just a big one for me because we see so many wrestlers being broken by the time they're 40.
Yeah. They die in their 60s. Yeah. Piper, Dusty.
It's crazy. I would just kind of be like, do you want your family? Do you want to be here for your kids? Or do you want to be in a wheelchair with someone wiping your ass and changing diapers? Because you had to.
Because she's going to be the one wiping it.
Not me, man. Nope. Would not be me. I wouldn't leave your ass, but I hire somebody for you. Like, I told my husband, I'm like, if you ever become in massive, like, some way where you can't, wipe your own ass, I have too much respect for you to do that. I'm going to hire somebody to do it. Because as a wife, I love you. We have done some weird shit, but that's where
for
I
another podcast.
Ricky, this should be a good "Am I the asshole?" I left my husband. He didn't stop doing death matches.
I mean, that's just the thing, and it's like a lot of these guys are having kids later on in life, which is great. You want to get all that crazy stuff out on the road before you have a kid and settle down, but. What if something goes wrong in like a match or a death match, God forbid, and you get crippled and you can't play with your kid, you can't pick up your kid. The thing that would kill me as a parent is not being able to be there for my kid, like at plays or anything school related or anything like that. But I don't know. It's just me being an old parent person. So
no, I mean all your concerns about, and I think it's a concern about not only does the wrestlers' wives have, but a lot of fans of them have too as well, because you want to be able to see them and talk to them. You want them to live a pretty long life. I personally want to see Daniel Bryan live long enough to have his daughter face one of the Miz's children in a wrestling match.
Oh,
that's all I want. To be honest. Yeah. It's like the Hearts and the Flairs. You have the Danielsons and the Miz's, I guess, the Mizanins. Yeah, the Danielsons and the Mizanins. That's the new big wrestling rivalry families right there, because that has to be it. Especially if Daniel Bryan goes back to WWE and Miz is the one to retire him, which is the way it should be. But we'll see what happens with that.
God,
I just think it's funny that Roman had 2 twin boys, and Seth and Becky had a girl, and then Renee and Mox had a girl. And I'm just thinking, like, what if the 2 of Roman's boys got with them? And it's like the old little mini.
The Samoan dynasty continues.
I didn't know Roman had twins.
Yeah, Roman has like 4 kids,
he actually has.
Did he call them Jimmy and Jay?
No. Get this. Genetics are weird. He has 2 sets of twin boys.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
That's why he's been champion for so long, because his wife is like calling WWE and is like, keep making him champ, because I cannot have any more of these Samoan babies.
He needs to pay for those boys too. Like, he needs the money. That makes all the sense in the world now. There's
a picture of him like flexing, and I'm looking at his arms, because Roman's a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
His arms are so big. He was able to put like each one of his like sons, like they're tiny, on his arms and flex like this. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, Roman has like
And he
6
does have-
kids. Yeah,
Yeah, I knew Roman had a daughter. I didn't know he had a daughter. I didn't know he had 2 sets of twins.
yeah. The Roman's got a lot of kids.
She's funny. She's
Roman,
funny.
Roman
'cause
fucks. Dude.
like
That's why he takes so much
his
time
daughter
off.
is just like so over
True.
everything. Everyone's like, your dad's Roman Reigns. Like that must be so cool. And she's just like,
She's like, yeah. I walked up the ramp with him at WrestleMania 32. Everybody booed us. I get it. Let's move on.
yeah.
That's what it was. He brought his daughter after he won the title the first time, and none of us gave a shit about him at the time.
We is still booed him.
Yeah.
And his stupid daughter.
Hey now.
Yeah, it was great. But anyway, Forbidden Door, folks, check it out. I don't think you'll be too disappointed by it. It was a really good show. Looks like they're getting things together. Next up on their docket is All Out, I believe, from Wembley.
Yeah, it's a month or so.
Yeah,
Quick side break. MJF, great match. He had a really good match. Great storytelling as
Yeah.
always.
Yeah, no, good job for MJF. Real fan of him. His theme song is really catching on to me too. I am enjoying his theme song a lot more. Yeah, it's catchy. It's catchy. And I think not too soon after All Out, it's gonna be All In. I'm like, wow.
All in.
Yeah,
they're doing a full week in Chicago, which is like, dude, why don't you just kill the market after it's already dead? Why
yeah,
don't
guys.
you?
Here's the thing, TK. Space out your pay-per-views. You only have 4 of them. What are you doing? Space them out.
Not only that, it's like I know you can't sell out anywhere that isn't Chicago or overseas, but at least try.
Seriously, make an effort, Tony. Make an effort.
Like I think there was 14,000 people I said on TV in that
It's a good
arena.
crowd.
It looked full.
It's a good crowd.
It looked really
The top
full.
wasn't that full.
think-
I don't know. Freds can confirm for that for us or not.
Maybe. The camera angles were good.
Yeah,
Then.
no, they learned. They learned.
They still have a problem where they shoot their cameramen. Like if you watch WWE programming, you never see cameramen.
Unless
ever.
they are
rare.
mistakenly in the way, and then like you have someone like Randy who's like, get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah, like or that's just on purpose.
Yeah.
But like AEW, I just noticed because I'm like working production and shit. I was like, oh, this cameraman all over the place. Like,
Right.
sloppy.
I honestly think a lot of the camera guys in WWE is like planted because
Oh, no way in hell. That camera equipment's way too expensive.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the wires and everything. Like, I got a
Yeah.
buddy of mine who works in production like you does, and he's like, there's no way that all those wires should be hanging out for no reason. And I just, AEW still has a lot of the technical stuff to work out with. They need a better commentary team. I'm sorry.
I will
Taz
say
is
this. Taz is fine.
horrible.
I mean, Taz, I've always enjoyed Taz as he brings the technical side to it. I'm going to say this now. I'm so glad they got Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly needs to replace JR.
Yeah, Kevin
Yeah.
Kelly is pretty excellent. Yeah, Jungle Boy turned heel to I don't care.
Unhook, okay.
Yeah, like after the match, one punch, then oh, crowd, give me attention. It's like, no, dude, beat him up
Yeah.
more. You want to get booed? Do something. Don't be like go like this, like you're fucking Chavo.
Ooh, Chavo.
Ooh, Chavo.
Oh my god.
Chavo's too bad being mad at Ray for bringing back the LWO because he's not a part of it. Anywho, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Forbidden Door, very good. Go check it out. But let's move on to the reason that we are here, the reason for the season. It is Money in the Bank weekend. WWE is putting on Money in the Bank live from the O2 Arena in London. It is going to be Saturday at 3 p.m. on the East Coast in the States. So thank God it's not at like noon like it was for was it Crown Jewel or whatever? No, for Night of Champions. Sorry, totally forget. Night of Champions. It was Night of Champions.
That was Saudi
Yeah,
Arabia.
yeah. That was.
Are you
12.
talking about
noon?
the NXT? Was it the NXT one that came out?
No. Night of Champ, because you had Gold Rush was NXT. Night of Champions was WWE, and that was in Saudi Arabia.
Clash the Castle.
Clash of the Castle,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Clash of the Castle was the last one in Europe, but they are coming back for London O2 Arena. I'm very excited for the matches. I'm very excited for the crowd. Like, London crowd is an amazing crowd regardless. And now you're going to bring
Oh my God,
bring
yeah.
the 5th major WWE pay-per-view, because this is the 5th major, to the London crowd, they are going to go absolutely bonkers and ballistic. Not only that, Money in the Bank is one of my favorite shows of the year. I know it's Will's favorite show of the year. Will and I were fortunate enough to road trip to Money in the Bank in Connecticut that one year where Bailey won and cashed in, and Brock Lesnar ruined everybody's hearts, especially the people in the front row, after knocking over that ladder. and then Mustafa's big push. Yeah, that match, which is fun. So, if Jermaine goes, I'd definitely like to hear from Jermaine, because Jermaine is our friend overseas for that. So let's talk about Money in the Bank a little bit, about things going on around Money in the Bank. Like, for instance, of course, WWE is going to have an exclusive Money in the Bank superstore, largest selection of Money in the Bank merchandise. It's going to be open. Yeah, right. I'm not.
Son of a
That's so
bitch.
cool.
I'm not gonna lie. I really like that white Money in the Bank London, England shirt. Like a lot.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I might go on the shop to buy, but it's going to be open starting this Thursday at noon to 8.
They got the old belt too, the Winged Eagle.
That's probably like the double plated Winged Eagle one too. So yeah, it's going to be open starting Thursday at noon. It's going to be running all the way through the weekend, including it's going to be open after the event the next day, Sunday, from 10 to 2. So if you are fortunate enough to be in London for that event, they also seem like they have the Union Jack on an exclusive Money in the Bank briefcase, which I have one right behind me as well. So do go check it out. Listen, if you've ever been to a WWE Superstore, especially for WrestleMania, it's amazing.
It's fucking super.
It is amazing. I spend. There's too much money. Alexis, have you ever been to like a WWE like Superstore for like a big event?
When I went to WrestleMania for Ric Flair's last match.
Oh, you were at 24?
That's kind of when,
wow.
Yeah. That's when they started playing with the idea of like opening the stores up and everything. But I would love to go back now for one, because I'm noticing they're bringing like stuff from like the WWE archives.
Yes.
And just to see that stuff like up close, because I'm a huge wrestling like history nerd. I love learning about like anything possible about old school wrestling. And they have, I just want to see Andre the Giant's boots. Like that's all I
They're
like.
there. They're
They're
fucking awesome. They also have a
formerly known as Access.
Yeah, formerly Access. Yeah, they also had. I think when we were in New York, the DX tank was there.
Oh man! See, I try to steal that thing so fast. I don't even know how to drive a tank. I would just I'd be like, "This is mine now."
Flair's
they had a lot of cool. They had a lot of cool stuff. They're like Undertaker's gear.
Trish's WrestleMania outfits. The like the Canadian special outfit that she wore once. When it was Taker's at Dallas a couple of years ago, he had his own special exhibit. So you got to have like he had his own exhibit in the back. It was like behind like curtains, and it was like they had the graveyard stuff as theme music was going. They had the stone chair that he used to sit in for promos? That stone chair was there.
They had the elimination chamber.
Yes, I remember that.
Dude,
yeah.
They have a piece. My favorite Money in the Bank was Money in the Bank 2020 because you could tell they had to think fast on their feet.
Oh, that's the piece
in Connecticut.
The Connecticut one, yeah.
Yeah, and that when they went into the one boardroom and they have like the original Hell in a Cell cages just hanging up. I'd be like, I would never be able to work for WWE because they would catch me like trying to take this stuff home because they don't throw anything away.
They have a giant warehouse of shit.
And
it's funny. They just turned props. They just turned props into a museum.
Yeah, pretty much.
They need to. Like, I would definitely go, and you can have like monthly different things, like the history of ECW and stuff like that. I just want to see the Undertaker's casket.
I have seen pretty much all of them when they were on display during his Hall of Fame year, which
they had Mick Foley's ear.
They've had
my husband would probably try to steal.
They've had some crazy stuff, and even in the Undertaker exhibit, I'll mention that as well. They had all of his like classic WrestleMania gear, and so I was in there, and the person who was running it is like, "Yeah, you can touch it." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, go ahead." I was like, "All right."
You can touch
Yeah, so
it?
I did. Undertaker's gear is crazy.
Okay, I'm fangirling. Just give me a second.
Undertaker's
Oh my
gear
god.
is absolutely nuts. That whole exhibit was well worth the money that we paid for it to go in.
Did they have like a cast of Andre's hands?
There was,
compare how
yes.
big
That
it
was on an Access.
Yeah, they had a
Oh,
cast of
that's
Andre's
cool.
hands.
They've had a lot of good stuff at their Superstore / Access. It's mostly a Superstore now. Put it in general, folks. A WWE Superstore is WWE Shop, or the store formerly known as WWEshop.com, in real life. Anything you can think of is probably there and then some. We're joking. Figurines, video games, shirts, a whole section of all the belts that they've ever done, signature series and all, are all in like pretty much smack dab in the middle. So first thing you walk in, you see all the belts.
Like 18 checkout lines.
Yeah, it's,
like they're ready.
They're ready. They are absolutely ready. Also, if you're not going to be in London, which probably most of you are not, but you are going to be over on the East Coast, specifically in Brooklyn, based on the email I got today from WWE, since I'm on their mailing list, WWE is also holding an official Money in the Bank watch party in Brooklyn at the Dave & Buster's in the Atlantic Terminal Mall, right next to Barclays Center. It is going to be featuring a guest appearance by the Gargano family. Johnny and Candace will be there to host the event. It's going to be first come, first serve. You can register online for it as well at the Dave & Buster's website, or whatever company that's running it through Dave & Buster's. And also, they are going to be doing some giveaways. One of those giveaways is going to be a full Money in the Bank briefcase full of WWE merchandise. It gets even better, as well as they are going to be giving away tickets to next year's WrestleMania in Philadelphia. So if you're in the Brooklyn area, I think they're going to start doing check-ins around 2 o'clock, an hour before Money in the Bank. So I am considering going to Brooklyn. I know my friend Sir Charles is like, so you're going, right? And I was like, oh, you just want me to go to win WrestleMania tickets so you don't have to pay anything. He's like, absolutely.
Yep.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
I don't ever do anything good like that where I live.
So here's the thing.
Damn.
I want to go get tickets so I can sell them and get cheaper tickets.
I was thinking the same thing, actually. To be
Because they're probably gonna be
So
like not
why-
great seats. So sell them at a premium, and then use that to buy floor seats. Duh.
Why is Candace hosting and not in the Money in the Bank ladder match? That's what I need to know, why she's not in this match.
I don't know.
Yeah, why isn't she wrestling? She's not on TV ever either.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think she might be taking it easy still with Quill or whatever.
I mean, neither is
So
Johnny.
maybe-
Johnny's not wrestling
I
either.
think Johnny's coming back to help with Ciampa soon. Now that Ciampa's back, thank God.
There are rumors that a DIY reunion is going to take place.
Rico, great comment, because Mayor Kane doesn't do handouts. He wants y'all to pull yourselves out your bootstraps. Good job, Rico.
I hate the fact that this guy's my
Oh,
mayor. Jesus
Glenn.
Christ.
Oh, Glenn. But so here's the thing. I don't like.
Oh, he's not a good politician. Come on, Kane.
No. The best thing.
Kane sucks.
The
dude.
best thing about Mayor Glenn Jacobs, or AKA Kane, there's someone who trolls his Facebook page.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
all
It's
the
really
time.
funny. It's really funny.
Okay, kiddo.
Yeah. So the here's the other thing about WWE's thing. So I'm on their mailing list, but they also kind of know what region of the U.S. that I live in. So I'm not sure if this is the only official watch party that they're doing. It is a possibility that they are doing other watch parties in other major areas. I doubt it, but this also might be a pilot to see how well they do, because they've never really announced like we're doing a watch party ever.
The one in Orlando has Jinder Mahal and Veer.
Yeah. So it is very possible. But if you guys do go, I might be there. I'm not. I may not. I don't know yet. I'm still up in the air. But it is interesting, especially if you want to win some WrestleMania tickets. Also, hang out with Johnny and Candace. I've hung out with Johnny and Candace. Will and I have hung out with Johnny and Candace.
Yes, we have.
He's awesome. Awesome man. Awesome, real
They're
down.
excellent people, but not worth going to Brooklyn for, dude. I hate going anywhere past Manhattan.
Well, to me, it's more of a direct shot. And also, by the way, folks, the meetup is free. You just have to register in advance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's completely
Yeah.
free. Because you're going to spend a crap ton of money at Dave & Buster's anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to Queens on Sunday though, so I'm definitely not going to Brooklyn
Oh,
on
yeah,
Saturday.
that's a lot of borough traveling for you. You don't want to do a...
Too much traveling, dude.
Anyway, but let's get into the actual main card of Money in the Bank. Of course, we're going to start with the Money in the Bank ladder match, which now includes Logan Paul. We have... Damian Priest, the man formerly known as Pete Dunne, now known as Butch, which I do predict we are getting Pete Dunne on Saturday. I have a strong feeling that he's going to be rebranded as Pete Dunne again. Santos Escobar, Shinsuke Nakamura, Ricochet, and in my opinion, the favorite to win this match, L.A. Knight, because.
I can't do sign language. I don't know what I was doing.
Fun fact about LA Knight, which I think I mentioned earlier. LA Knight used to be a part of a PC 10 years ago, and he references on, I think, Chris Van Vliet's podcast. He was fired from WWE, and he was told it wasn't because of a skill issue. Apparently, he had a shit attitude. Couldn't tell by his character.
I think I heard rumors about that. Like, he was a real dickwad back in the day, but he's kind of mellowed out now.
He had a shit attitude, so he pretty much got forced to go to Impact, became world champion, and then they wanted to re-sign him again, but they also weren't going to up the money that they had first offered him. So he realized, like, I got to eat shit for a little bit and to build myself up, and that's exactly what he did. And I think LA Knight is my favorite to win this. My disaster pick, before we move on to you guys, my disaster pick, because I want to see wrestling Twitter burn to the absolute fucking ground, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Look
at him. He's just like, I'm winning it. This crap is just like, I'm winning it, bro.
I hate the fact he's so front and center. Like, he's the main guy you're getting your attention on. Like, I just want to kick him in the balls.
I know, that's why his character's great.
He's the biggest star on this graphic by far. That's why.
Yeah, it's crazy. Will Terrace, like, who do you have winning this thing?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm going with Fretz on this one. I got Damian Priest.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been picking Damian Priest since the beginning. I know people love LA Knight.
Yeah.
He's like the fan favorite. Yeah. But no, I don't see him winning. Let me talk to you. I'm not gonna win this thing. Sorry. Yeah.
Aww.
Listen, do you know how many songs include yeah? Like just saying yeah randomly? And do you know how many people have stitched videos of LA Knight singing the yeah part of a popular song?
Of what the
Like Usher's yeah.
Oh,
like Usher's yeah, and you just hear yeah, and it's the audio together. It's amazing. I would love for Logan Paul to win this because I just want to have people's minds be exploded to be like, what the hell's going on?
I would also love Logan Paul to win this,
Yeah.
but I do think it's Damian Priest. I think he needs it the most, and he would do the most with it because they're really high on Judgment Day right now, and
Rightfully
Finn's going to lose, and Dom's going to lose too. So you gotta have someone.
You want to create a power struggle in the Judgment Day.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really good. Alexis, who do you have winning this Money in the Bank?
I gotta go with LA Knight. Like, me and Nicole and so many of us have been like manifesting that LA Knight's gonna win because just looking at it from like a wrestling perspective, he could definitely go after Seth or whoever Roman drops the title to because it's gonna be a good build up.
Yeah.
We've had enough failed cash. Now, if we're looking at like statistics or whatever, sorry, I talk with my hands a lot. This is really weird.
It's perfectly fine. Go right ahead. It's cool.
Now, wrestling statistic wise, we haven't had a failed male cash in quite a while.
Baron Corbin, maybe?
Yeah.
Well, Corbin was the last. Yeah, 'cause Corbin was the last one. Because wait, did Strowman win after a cash in?
Oh, Strowman lost. Strowman lost. Yes.
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Brock chucked that briefcase all the way up the stage. I remember that.
He was there.
Yeah.
Brock was like, not today. I know. He went to cash in the next night, and that's when the Shield reformed for a night only and made sure Braun did not win.
Did Brock cash in? And
Brock in the Bank? I want to say yes.
I don't know. I want my heart of hearts. I want LA Knight to win because he deserves it. Honestly, he put in the work down in NXT. He was great in NXT. I still think of him as Eli Drake in NWA.
He's just doing Eli Drake. That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
That's right. Brock killed Kofi. That's correct. Thank you, Fretz.
he
Was
got me.
that wasn't a
into-
cash in?
That was a declared match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just, hey,
Like-
SmackDown on Fox. Yay.
I don't know. I mean, I would really all the excluding Logan Paul. I would not like it if Shinsuke won because Shinsuke's kind of on his way out. Because he does. I mean, he said he just wants to wrestle for a couple more years and then that's it. Priest. It would be a shocker if Priest won, and then Finn loses. And then like
story.
that power struggle.
It's a great story.
That power struggle within the Judgment Day. I don't want Logan Paul having it. I don't. I don't like him. I hate the fact that he's actually good in wrestling.
Everybody does. But you
I don't
can't deny how good he is now.
I get nothing from him. I think him and Ricochet are gonna have like another moment like they did at the Rumble.
Yeah, Ricochet and Logan Paul are going to annihilate each other again like they did at the Rumble, and I can't wait for it.
Instead of clashing in the tummies, they're gonna kiss. Like,
It's gonna make out randomly.
just a peck. Just little. Oh, you know what? Logan Paul's just gonna boop him. I don't know. Just boop.
I want the match to be good.
Oh, I think it is.
But then at the same time, I want someone to break character and take the world's most expensive Pokemon card and stand over Logan Paul's carcass and rip it in two right in front of him. Like, that would be...
Oh, my goodness. That would be amazing.
Like, I don't know if that would be a dick move, a heel move, an anti-hero move, but I'd be like, I want to be the one who does it.
Anti-hero. But it would be glorious.
Like...
I don't know, man. I love Logan Paul. I think he's fucking amazing. I love his character. I love his personality. He might be a dick in real life, but
I can
think
confirm
he's-
he is kind of a dick in real life. I have someone who met him during WrestleMania weekend.
I don't doubt it. I mean, the guy's got a massive ego. The guy's like 24 years old. He's got a massive ego. Like,
You know, it can't be as worse as his brother. You remember when his brother showed up? What was that, at WrestleMania? Like, last year or
that was
something
Crown
like
Jewel.
that?
that was KSI.
Yeah. No. KSI was at
No.
WrestleMania.
Jake showed up.
Jake
Jake
Paul
showed
was-
up
was
during the
console
Saudi
last year.
Arabia Championship match with Roman.
Yeah. No, his
Well,
brother's a way bigger dick, and not
No,
afraid
it was-
about it either.
It was here in the States, and I think it
Yes.
was like the first time he was wrestling, and his brother was like drunk as a skunk.
Not surprised.
And he was just like, he was yelling at the crowd, like he wasn't even paying attention to like the people like up at the little booth thing there. He just kept turning around and yelling at the audience. And I'm just like, you could see like, I don't like Booker T or Jerry Lawler, but you could see like them being like, this is the most disrespectful little shit we've ever had
Oh,
up here.
shucky ducky, quack quack.
Logan's much more marketable.
Very much more
But
marketable. Yes.
I'm going with LA Knight. I can't. It's just. Yeah! I want him to win.
Yeah. LA Knight. I think LA Knight is the favorite. He is my favorite. I would be surprised if Shinsuke, no way in hell, Ricochet, and Santos is not there yet. Santos will be a big player.
Yeah, who? This guy sucks.
Santos is
This guy's
amazing.
terrible.
They are slow building Santos, and I'm perfectly fine with it.
Go back to your like Mexican mobster gimmick. That was actually
Which
good.
he's doing. He's slowly morphing that because he's wearing a little bit more fashionable stuff when he's not wrestling. And Santos is going to. I really think I think Santos turns on Ray, usurps him, and we bring back Mob Boss Santos.
Yeah, please, dude. He's a terrible babyface.
He's
Awful.
okay, but they haven't done much of the LWO to begin with. But I'm also going to go LA Knight. LA Knight or Damon Priest, that's going to be good. Now, moving on to the women, which is going to be 6 women, because there is not going to be a 7th. So we have Io Sky, Bailey of Damage Control, Trish and Zoe, who is pretty much the female Roger Klotz of that pairing.
Roger Klotz.
She gives me big Roger Klotz vibes. You have Becky Lynch because you need somebody to curtail this freaking cavalcade of a circus that's going to be this women's Money in the Bank match, and the queen of the chancla, Zelina Vega, which I'm just excited to see what Zelina Vega comes out in because she's a cosplay queen. She's also one of the voices in Street Fighter, which is kind of crazy.
That is pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
That's awesome.
But if I'm being honest, Alexis, we're gonna go with Io Sky's gonna win this whole damn thing.
Io has to win. I have been begging the wrestling gods ever since I've seen Io that she needs to be in a Money in the Bank match when she gets to the main roster. She is absolutely amazing. honestly, this women's Money in the Bank does not interest me at all. And
I
that's
agree.
usually the one that I look forward to the most. Bailey has been boring the absolute hell out of me. Damage Control didn't do anything for Io or Dakota Kai. It makes no sense for them to be with Bailey.
I think the breakup's coming soon, and I think this Money in the Bank is going to kickstart that.
Yeah, that's why I think Io loses.
Ooh.
I don't want her to lose because she's going to be her and Becky are going to be the workhorses. I honestly
Yes,
think
absolutely.
that. Becky has been in Money in the Banks. Bailey has been in Money in the Banks before. I don't know if Zelina has, but Io has been in War Game matches, so she's used to, the jumping off while in a trash can on top of a cage kind of scenario.
Listen, Io Sky will find a way to jump up of something high. She has Shane McMahon syndrome.
She does. I don't like the idea of Bailey. If Bailey causes her to lose, I'm not even going to have heat for Bailey. It's just going to be like more of an annoyance. Because again, she's done nothing for me since she's came back. And I love Trish. Let me make this perfectly clear. I love Trish.
I do too.
She does not need to be in Money in the Bank.
I kind of agree with that.
I think she wins.
Then this needs to be the one that has a failed cash-in, because we have not had a failed women's cash-in since they started the women's
Yeah,
the
because they've all
women's ladder
cashed in
match.
like a few hours later.
Yeah, women
Yeah.
have a 100% success rate. The men have, I think, around an 80% success rate, with a couple of notable failures. Damian Sandow being the most egregious of them. God damn it!
Criminal.
Yeah.
Like I
Where's
love
that? Where's
Trish.
that briefcase in their store? Damn it! I want the Sandow-wise Money in the Bank briefcase. That was a beautiful briefcase.
I love Trish. She really is a pioneer when it comes to women wrestling in WWE. She is in amazing shape. I'm very jealous that she looks as good.
It's absurd. She looks even better in real life. I have a
It's-
picture of her. It's unbelievable.
Like her and Lita just look absolutely amazing. Like a lot of the women from that era in WWE have just, they look better than they did on TV. Molly Holly's never aged, to me at
I
least.
love Molly.
And if you ask my husband, she never aged either because he loved Molly Holly. I don't think she should be here. I get it. It's storytelling because it's going to be that SummerSlam match of Trish versus Becky. But we already got Trish versus Charlotte. And I'm just kind of like, well, what's the payoff for this? And Zoe being with her, I know it's because Zoe's not strong enough to stand on her own on the main roster yet.
She's still working shifts at Applebee's.
Not with that jacket. She got enough.
I
She
just-
definitely is a manager now at Applebee's. That jacket is phenomenal. The 2-color jacket, love it.
I just want to know, because looking at these matches, you had this, and then you had Natty, and I'm just thinking
Natty.
like, and I'm not trying to sound like a bitch or anything, but why is Natty need to be in a Money in the Bank match? You have Piper, you have Nikki, you have Chelsea Green, who has really grown on me, believe it
I
or
love
not.
Chelsea Green.
You have Sonya, you have Raquel Gonzalez. Give Shotzi versus Io and a Money in the Bank.
I will say this: Shotzi might replace Bailey in this, because Bailey is putting her on SmackDown the Friday before. Bailey's putting her spot online against Shotzi because Io said she'll do it. So Shotzi might be a last-minute addition. I do agree that Piper Niven, it's freaking London. Put Piper in the damn match.
I don't want to see Piper climb a ladder.
She doesn't have to climb. She can just do a splash off of it and kill like Zelina Vega. It's going to be a great visual. But no, Piper needs to be in this up. But we might see Shotzi. That is the only caveat to this. We might see Shotzi be a sleeper. Bailey might still get involved and try to like fuck with Io. But Shotzi might be involved in this as well.
I needed Candice LeRae in this match. I'm sorry.
Candice is perfect for this match.
She is so tiny, and that woman will literally throw herself with her bionic knees and use the baby as like a weapon. I don't know.
No, I've seen Candice on the indies.
just-
Candice has done some wild shit in like intergender matches. Like Candice gives zero fucks about her body.
she's like 4 foot nothing, and it's just like she's so
She is
little.
very petite.
He was
The way she sold that what was it, the chiropractor that Cedric Alexander does, and she went flying.
I've seen that.
I'm like, damn.
that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You know Cedric's well, you remember Cedric's finisher?
It's
Yeah.
It's like a backstabber. Yeah, he did that to Candice LeRae. Candice literally like almost went out of the ring.
That's pretty
It's
funny.
freaking great. Speaking of backstabbers, there is there's rumors that a Caribbean Cool might be showing up sometime soon.
Hell yeah!
Yes!
Carlito, dude, that guy is jacked.
I clapped so loud when he showed up at Backlash, man. Like, I was screaming.
Carlito's so ripped, he's like begging to be in a Marvel movie. He's like, look how fucking jacked I am. God damn it.
Carlito looks better now than he did when he was signed with WWE. He looks better than half the. He looks better than half the. Controversial opinion. He looks better than half the guys down in NXT
That's
right
not controversial.
Hey, it's not
That's real.
controversial, but
Yeah,
true.
that's real.
Yeah, it's,
now. And that
cool.
that should put everybody on like high alert. Like, I don't know how old Carlito is,
Doesn't matter.
but
like 48.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I mean, like, get your ass to the gym and get like at least a 6-pack. Like, I appreciate the dad bod, but you're gonna let this dude steal your girl.
Tell that to
Okay,
Corbin.
like,
Carlito is 44.
Yeah. So
Damn.
he's right
He's
in
not
his
aged
prime.
either.
The rumor is MSG SmackDown next week.
Hell yeah.
That
man.
is the Caribbean Cool rumor. Like I said, unconfirmed by any credible sources, but that is potentially a rumor.
Meltzer, you tell me Meltzer's been wrong before?
Yes, absolutely, all the time. So yeah.
Meltzer, I hate that guy so much.
Everybody does. So does Io's got to win this in any way, shape, or form because I can't see anybody else exactly. In
Dude,
this.
it's going to Trish, man. I wouldn't mind Money in the Man. But,
Money in the Man.
Trish,
I also like Money in the
Trish-
Tank if Shotzi's in it.
Trish has got this.
The only
Trish
thing I
has got
want from this, I want Io to do a replication of her War Game spot. I want her to like go to the top of the ladder, put a trash can on her head.
Yes, with a trash can.
Jump off.
And just go.
That was the most fun I've ever seen
I-
anybody have in any sort of match. She was so happy to put a trash can over her head and jump off the top of a cage.
I think Lita's gonna come out. I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, I'm going with Io on this, but this one I'm really disappointed that I'm not excited for it. I think Lita's gonna come out and not backstab, but I think she's gonna get Trish back for the beatdown that she put on
They're
her.
better as enemies. I'll put it that way.
They
are so
are.
much better as enemies.
Yeah, they are better. They're better
Now,
as
do
enemies,
I-
but even better in a sex tape. Ayo, got him.
Do I want a Lita and Trish match in 2023?
No.
No.
Oh,
But-
no.
She
I want a
can't.
sex tape.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right, anyway, let's move on from this. Let's move on from this. We're pretty much going Team EO, except who's the
Throw
fact
Ray
that
J in there too.
no, we don't need to give Ray J any more.
Made that other girl famous.
Kim Kardashian. Yes, that other girl famous. Anywho,
that other girl.
Anywho, to the soap opera match of the night, what it's going to be at Money in the Bank, which this might be the main event because it damn sure deserves
Yeah,
it.
it is. Yeah, it's-
Blood,
It is.
this is so good. It has its own special graphic. Okay, it's totally different from anything else. We have Bloodline Civil War, not to be confused with Marvel's Civil War, or Captain America Civil War. We have Roman and Solo versus the Usos, who have officially left the Bloodline, and we're going to figure out, according to WWE, who will be the ones. All right, here's what we're going to do. I have a feeling the Usos are going to find a way to win this, or something crazy is going to happen. But over under, how many super kicks will?
19.
Ooh,
No, you know what? No. I have a joke for this. They missed an opportunity. They should have called it the Revolutionary War, and there's going to be 1776 super kicks.
And they have a cannon, so it's like do 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 kick do 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 kick
Like, this is more of a Revolutionary War because the Usos are staging a coup, right?
is
They're
it a
leaving.
coup?
They're
Well, no. Well,
revolutionizing.
a coup means they're taking over, but they didn't.
No,
They
not necessarily
left.
taking over. They're breaking off.
Yeah.
It's not really a civil war.
Yeah,
It
is a civil war.
It's revolutionary.
No, it's
war.
a civil war because they're seceding from the bloodline. A coup would be a takeover.
A coup would be they're trying to take over. Yeah, they're not
They're
trying to take
leaving.
over.
It's
They're-
secession, so it's
it's a revolution.
Yeah, revolutions, Civil War.
Because Civil War means you're going to unite again,
Good call. Good
Yeah.
call. Good
Right?
call. I
right?
mean, no, civil just means like I don't know how you would define civil in this case, because the way that I think they're trying to do it is that civil war is just a fight between family essentially, like how America's Civil War was like it's a fight within
Right,
it's a
right.
fight within the family.
It's the same country still.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, but the Revolutionary War was technically in between family. It was England. It was all England. It was a revolution.
Yeah,
That's why I think this is more of a revolution than it is a civil war.
I still say civil because that
I think they're not calling it revolution because it stings the Brits a little bit too much.
it would sting the Brits too much if they if the Usos or they had this match in like a harbor somewhere and they started throwing tea.
Tea packets.
Sorry, I'm a history nerd.
Yeah. How many super kicks? 17.76.
Alexis, how many super kicks?
Oh my god.
Also, good point. Grammatically speaking, civil war is an oxymoron. How can a war be civil if people are
That's
dying?
also very true.
That's the opposite of civility.
Yeah, it's very, very true. There's nothing civil about war.
But yeah, Roman wins. I think Roman wins. He took the L last time. Dude, you can't have Roman lose twice in a row. Are you kidding me? Guy's a tribal chief. He glistens. He glistens, Ricky. He fucking glistens.
He does glisten.
Look at him. He's glistening in this picture. He's so shiny.
It's a lot of photos. It's a lot of good Photoshop in there.
Oh, it's like they put a mat on him.
Over
Matte finish.
under, I think they're gonna do at least 20 super kicks.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Like, because do they even punch anybody, or do they just kick them all the
No,
time?
they do some punches from time to time.
And the Young Bucks don't punch. Come on.
The
Oh,
Young Bucks
yeah.
do not punch at all. Young Bucks kick and dive and flip. But yeah, 20 sounds about good.
I'm gonna go with the Usos on this one, because if they're doing it the way I think they're gonna do, who have they picked who Roman's gonna go up against at SummerSlam?
No, not yet.
Okay, so here's how.
I think I have an idea, but I want to hear yours.
Okay, so this is what majority of the girlies and I are thinking, is that Solo is going to cause them the match, right? Roman's already like super paranoid as all out. I think Solo's going to do something that causes him to lose the match. Like he's going to accidentally spike Roman or something like that. And then he's going to go absolute crazy and kick Solo out. And then Solo and the Usos are going to have a united front, and they're going to take out Roman, whoever he's going up against at SummerSlam. Because you can't have one, like, Money in the Bank is like one of the new Big Fours. This is the classic Big Four. Like SummerSlam, it's Mania, Royal Rumble, Sorry, I stroked out. Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. Those are your major core. You can't not have him. I mean, he already didn't go to Puerto Rico, so there was that.
Puerto Rico didn't need him.
You can't. I really wish for Backlash they just switched those two matches around. Like the street fight should have been the last match, but that's a whole other story.
We agree with you.
Agreed.
We agree with you wholeheartedly.
I think something's going to happen between now and SummerSlam. Solo's going to get kicked out. He's going to have to go back to his brothers. And then whoever they pick for Roman to go up at SummerSlam, whether it's the Money in the Bank winner or somebody else, that they're going to cost Roman the title. It's been 3 years. He's hit the 100,000 mark, or not the 100,000 mark. Oh
no,
God.
please.
Jesus, we all be dead.
No.
They just be wheeling out his, skeleton. They've already hit the 1,000 days. Nobody cares about it because they're like, oh, Bruno Sammartino did it, and I'm like, well, that was back when the territories existed.
Bruno Sammartino did it twice.
Yeah. But I mean, it's because it actually meant something because he could travel with the title.
Yeah, and Roman didn't travel, and Bruno didn't travel on with 3 of the same exact belt in different colors. Such an asshole.
Right, and And I'm just like, this is like, just seeing him, I'm like, that is such a waste of belts.
Roman does not care.
And it's like, instead of just, instead of just letting them do this, they're like, oh, we're just going to create belts and give one to Seth, even though Seth has been putting in the work, character-wise, work-wise, to actually take one of those titles off of
Listen,
Roman.
it's the shut up Seth,
But-
here's a world title. Roman's still the guy.
I don't know, man. Roman's put in the work. We booed him for almost a decade. Like,
It took them, and this is my issue with Roman, is that they took 10 years to turn him heel. And now it's like people are still getting tired of him. And it's just like, and everyone's like, well, I just want to know where all this backlash is coming from all of a sudden. I'm like, dude, it's been 3 years. 3 very long years.
It's working. Here's where I think you're changing. I think the Usos might win or something, and Solo might turn on Roman or just hit Roman and Roman gets paranoid and kick him out. But I think if we're going to culminate this at SummerSlam, or we're going to believe it's going to culminate at SummerSlam, because it's not going to culminate at SummerSlam, you give us Jay versus Roman SummerSlam main event for the title.
that could work.
What?
Jay doesn't.
No, Jay does not
God-
win. No,
goddamn
no,
chance
Jay does
Jay
not
will.
win. No.
Dude,
So
Roman
then-
gets like 1,100 days. I hope you're ready for Roman to carry his belt into the next Year's Mania.
Yeah,
Like, it's
no,
gonna
that is
happen.
exactly what's
No,
happening.
He's got to lose it. I'm so.
He's
like,
gonna lose it
those
on the
titles,
biggest stage possible, or on a house show, just because WWE wants to fuck with people. But no, he's gonna lose on the biggest stage possible, and it's gonna be in Philly.
I can't. Let's see. I can't
main
do it.
event on Peacock.
I can't do it anymore.
Listen,
Oh, I'm still on the train.
Yeah, I'm
man.
still there.
I am still.
I'm still there.
I am still a Roman leg. I don't care. I'll say it.
yeah. So, well, who do you have for winning this? You're saying Roman, right?
Yeah, Roman and Solo. Unless Solo just turns on Roman and joins the Usos, it's a 3-on-1 beatdown. It's not even a real match.
Yeah, there's something freaky that's gonna happen, but it is going to be cinema. Suck that, Martin Scorsese. Let's move along to the other thing that's a world title that no one really cares about because Roman has 3 of them.
God.
Finn Balor, who has had a phenomenal video package for him versus Seth freaking Rollins, the guy who's trying to legitimize his World Heavyweight title so much he actually defended it on NXT a couple of weeks ago. So there you go. Seth Rollins.
Yeah, this picture of Seth, he's thinking, I'm so cool. The rest of us are going, yeah. No, you're not.
Although I will say he has the better looking of the world titles.
It's gorgeous.
He does.
It looks
He
phenomenal.
has a better looking world titles. This match didn't have any steam until Finn Balor's video package on Monday, where he talked about relinquishing the title, the Universal title, the first ever one for 22 hours after Seth fucked up his career for a very long time. Thanks, Seth, for that. And Seth came out right after Finn had relinquished and laughed in Finn's space, and apparently Finn has held on to it. We are finally getting that Prince McDevitt again, kind of like Finn Balor 2.0 when he returned to NXT and had a crazy stellar run as a 2-time champion again. He said, Finn is so confident, he's like, I'm not even fucking bringing the demon back.
Yeah, because he lost.
So, I was kind of hoping for Jack the Ripper demon, like he did in NXT when they did London that one time.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper demon was really fun. This match caught a lot of steam really quick. They really are trying to build up Finn. He's kind of got that angry edge back again, thank God. But this title's too new for Seth to lose it right now.
Oh no!
We have disasters. What's going on there, Alexis?
Oh no! Oh my God!
What happened? What do we got here?
It's
We
just
got breaking news.
this thought just came through my head.
All right, let's hear this.
Priest wins Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Seth beats Finn. Damian tries to cash in on Seth. It's a failed cash in.
Ooh.
And Finn fucks him over.
Yeah.
And then they tried, and I know they're really big on Judgment Day right now, but come Monday, are they having Raw in the States, or are they going to be in London
Raw
still?
will return to the States, I believe.
Okay. Then
They get Sunday to travel
Yeah.
day.
so they both lose. in Judgment Day impacts because Rhea is women's champion and she's doing what she needs to be doing, and she don't have time for their little petty BS because now she's got somebody who's either that could possibly come after her title.
Oh, Rhea's got plenty of time. She got no competition.
Yeah.
Right. So that is like a worst case scenario.
Yeah, that'd be really cool though.
Yeah.
If that
Rhea
happens,
tries to cash in and Finn fucks him over.
That'd be interesting, yeah. And
if this happens, I'm going to scream and then sue WWE for creative stealing my idea.
I'm not gonna lie, they've stolen our ideas before. We've said some stuff like, wait a minute.
No, we've just had good ideas about the writing on the wall.
Nicole has been screaming from the rooftops that Lacey Evans needs to have like the Sergeant Slaughter gimmick. And like 2 weeks ago, she came out with the hat, doing the salute and everything, doing the. I'm like, they're bugging. They're listening to the podcast now because that means they have no idea what they're going to do.
Lacey Evans needs to come out and start praising Russia. Let's be real.
She becomes a Russian sympathizer.
Yeah, or China, one or the
Russia,
other, or both.
Russia,
Fuck it, both.
Russia. No, they really dropped the ball with Lacey Evans for a while. But anyway, back to this match. I think Seth wins.
Yeah,
I'm very interested to see what outfit Seth comes out in. I'm thinking another Elton John cosplay like he did at Clash.
Seth complained without a belt. How much is he gonna complain after he loses the belt after like a month? Please.
Yeah.
If it's the Seth shut up belt, you don't take it off of him.
Yeah, not for a long time. I mean, Seth was complaining about this belt so badly. Becky was complaining for him in interviews as well. You know, so it was a big gripe. But yeah, now Seth's winning. They're gonna put on a fun match. Seth might try to kill Finn's shoulder again, but we'll see how that plays out. But Seth wins us all the way. Let's move on to hey bro, Matt Riddle's alive, but not for long because he's going up against Gunther.
Bathroom
Yeah,
break.
he's going up against Gunther. Matt Riddle is going to get annihilated because you're never taking this belt off Gunther, not for a very, very long time, especially over in the UK. This is going to be amazing because I can't wait for Riddle to die. And if it's, I don't think it's just me. Are we all tired of Riddle? Because I'm tired of him.
I've never liked him.
Fair.
Truth be told, I never saw the big deal about it. All he does is steal other people's moves and just put bro in front of it. We've seen this gimmick before. Rob Van Dam did it way better.
Yes.
We've seen other people do the stoner bro thing. He's not a very good person. Him and his ex-wife have the podcast blocked on Twitter because apparently they didn't like the fact that we called her out being like a really ratchet ass bitch, excuse my language, to a lot of the women in the locker room, saying that, that Charlotte Flair is not hot enough to be a wrestler and she needs to train with her. Meanwhile, his ex-wife has no ass. So built like a surfboard and Larry the Lobster from SpongeBob. Like, apparently she heard what we said and she didn't like that, and neither did Matt. So,
Well,
I don't like him. I don't like him as a person, and I don't like him as a wrestler. That's why I try not to talk about it, because some people are like, well, you can't divide blah, 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 blah. I want Gunther to cave his chest in.
oh, it's going to happen. I can't wait for it.
And I'm going to love it.
I can't wait. The best thing about this is like KO hating him so much that in like the segment, I think on Monday, KO and Sam were talking to Imperium, and he was like, I hate Riddle, and Sam was like, we gotta defend him, and KO's like, we gotta defend him? All right. Like, the things they're doing with KO is amazing, but yes, no, Gunther is going to annihilate Riddle because, as Fred said, the Honko meter is going to be broken in September, and Gunther will break the Honky Tonk Man's record for longest Intercontinental title reign. Thank God.
Oh my god, remember Santino had that gimmick? I've been Intercontinental Champion for 3 weeks.
I love the fact Santino's back. I'm glad he's in Impact, and it's just, I forgot how funny he actually was.
He was a great guy.
God, he was the best. He got a fucking snake sock puppet over.
Do you remember, real quick sidebar, do you remember the snake, the Cobra versus Mr. Sacco at the Royal Rumble?
Yes!
Remember Jinder Mahal played the flute and he was dancing?
No, I don't actually. I need to find that.
So like,
So, yeah.
he brought out the sock puppet. Jinder Mahal brought out a flute and started playing it, and then Santino started dancing, like with the snake started dancing, dude. It was ridiculous and really funny.
WWE is really good with the right amount of ridiculous. But all in all, Gunther is going to win this, and I can't wait to have Riddles get the bro slapped out of him for once.
Yeah, dude, Riddle had 9 lives and they're up, bro.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it is over. Speaking of people who have 9 lives and still is going to have more lives, because people are still going to boo Dominic Mysterio when he goes up against the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Speaking of American and Revolution, how is Cody going to be received when he comes out in red, white, and blue like Homelander in the UK? I'm gonna be very interested in that. I'm going to say he's over like Rover, but
Over like Rover.
Oh, especially Cody, because he put in the work over there, like all the.
fair.
Europe has this weird thing for American independent wrestlers,
I don't blame them.
where, because they don't come over a whole lot, so when they do, it's a big deal. I remember being on here, a year ago?
Just about.
We were bitching and complaining about Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, rightfully so.
I was so, and I'm gonna hate myself for this. When he was going up against Roman, I really was like, he's gotta do it. He's gotta do, really just. I did the whoa thing.
Listen,
I wore my Dusty
we were
Rhodes
all
shirt for,
with
good
you.
luck.
We were all with you.
I wasn't.
And I'm
Whatever.
just like, a year
I picked
ago,
Roman.
I was on Kings of the Rings complaining about this, and now I want this guy to win. And I'm behind him 100%. And I don't know if I drank the Kool-Aid or if I was just tired of Roman, or he would be an amazing cult leader. Cody Rhodes can just make anybody kind of just put in his kind of shoes kind of thing. I don't
Reverend
know
Rhodes,
how
man. Reverend Rhodes.
Cody's gonna win unless. If Rhea tries something, I think Brandy needs to show up and slap her.
No, we do not need Brandy. Okay, I saw what happened with AEW heels. Brandy needs to stay on the sideline for a while. I'll accept Pharaoh the dog who showed up on Raw. I'm very happy that Pharaoh was there. Pretty cool. They were in Georgia. I get it. We do not need Brandy. Damn it.
But
When did Cody say the N-word to Quan? I don't remember that.
No, he said Cody
Wait, what?
say.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
said, so I can't read that. I can't read that. But tell me why this picture of Dom just screams, "Bro, are you seriously talking during quiet waiting time?"
if this
This
is
is a
supposed to be
library.
intimidating,
We got great graphics today.
Thank WWE for that.
it's better than the AEW graphics we put in that video game.
Although I heard it's good according to Mr. Freds. But yeah, no, Cody's gonna be good. The woe might be the loudest ever. It's gonna be fantastic. But Cody's beating Dom because Dom can just take a loss because everybody loves to see Dom lose.
Yeah.
Well, again, that goes with the thing. If Dom loses and Finn loses and Priest wins, Priest can kind of hoard that
That's
over
why I think.
the
That's
other
why
two.
I think Priest wins. He's like, why aren't I the leader?
Yeah, it'd be bad if Judgment Day went 0 for 3 at Money in the Bank. So there is credence
Dude,
to
all
that.
they do is lose. They
I mean, at
lose
this-
all the time, other than Rhea. They lose all.
Finn
the
won on
time.
Monday.
They suck. Who
At
cares?
this
They don't win
point,
feuds.
Rhea,
They don't win matches that matter.
at this point, Rhea is the leader of Judgment Day, if anybody asks me. And we've talked about this too on our
Facts.
show. It's just that Judgment Day, I get it now, they have their footing, but it's like for the longest time, what was their exact reason? They weren't going after the US title or the IC title, whatever show they were on. They have enough people to have tag teams. You never saw Damian or Dom trying to go for it, or Damian and Finn. And it's just like, what are you guys doing?
Very emo. They're the emo band or the emo group of wrestling for a while.
Nah, they not the emo
They're
group.
they're
that
better
goes to
emo than the
Dark Order.
Skins. All right, good call. I'll take that. The Dark Order is super emo. But for some reason, as much as Judgment Day loses, they still listen. Damian Priest is in a good position. Dominic is in a crazy position. I used to call for Dominic to go to NXT, and now I'm like, we need him. He's a heat magnet. You know.
I think Priest, like, people forgot how good Priest was because for a while he was just kind of like Damien's babysitter. It's like the best way to put it. I think the street fight in Puerto Rico with Bad Bunny
Fantastic.
really told people like,
Yeah, amazing.
hey, this guy can carry a main event.
Yeah.
Tom is just Rhea's lesbian daughters.
Oh my God. No, because I know lesbians, and they saw that haircut, they'd be like, nah, shave it off.
Here's the thing: if you think of like who has Judgment Day helped, the answer is it's just Dom, right? Because like Rhea's career has been super elevated, but not because of Judgment Day. Rhea's pretty much done that on her own. Like Judgment Day doesn't help Rhea do
I'll
anything.
give you that. In Rhea's signature matches, Judgment Day is nowhere to be found, which is an interesting booking choice.
They can't because they can't hit women.
Yeah.
Like Rhea can help Dom because she can hit men, and it's believable.
She could power slam men
but,
too. It's crazy.
Like my point is like Judgment Day didn't help Rhea. Rhea helped herself. They gave her a new character, sure, but the Judgment Day itself didn't elevate her. It really only elevated Dom. It's done nothing for Finn, and it's done nothing for Priest.
Because remember when Rhea showed up?
Continue.
When Rhea showed up for her grand, that thing that they did, no one cheered. When she was like, she's the new member of Judgment Day. Nobody cheered. No one even really made any noise.
Yeah.
So it's just...
It's like, oh, we saw that coming. Thanks, Mel.
Yeah.
No, it was good. But no, Dom loses, and somehow he still remains the biggest heat magnet in all of wrestling. MJF could take some lessons from it. So yeah, Cody wins. Move on, we got a couple more matches. Oh yeah, there's tag team titles because they got fused. Shayna and Ronda, who will not be tag team champions for long, I think, are going to face in a proper rematch against Raquel and Liv because, surprise, surprise, Liv came back from a shoulder injury really, really early, which is very surprising.
Early.
Very, very surprising. This got added last week on SmackDown, so now there's only one pair of tag team champions, Shayna and Ronda, facing Liv and Raquel. I do believe Shayna and Ronda are just transitional in nature, and they will drop to Liv and Raquel because I think obviously Liv getting injured was not supposed to happen. So I think they're going to put the titles back on them. What do you got, Alexis?
I'm going with Raquel and Liv. I love Shayna, but I cannot stand Ronda Rousey. I don't like her. That's all I'm going to say about Ronda.
Fair.
I wish Shayna would have a match with Rhea or Asuka. I'm still crossing my fingers for an Asuka Shayna match one day because of that tease we got at Elimination Chamber. I like Liv. I think they pulled the trigger on her a little too early when it came to doing the SmackDown champion. I wasn't like one of those people I was not one of those people who were shitting on her for having the title. I think that had to do with who she was going up against, and she really didn't have much to do except, the same three people, and then she dropped it back to Rousey. Raquel, I would love to see as a future women's champ. I want her to be a powerhouse. So, do that. Have Shayna go up against Ronda at SummerSlam. Do something. I just don't like Ronda Rousey. And same thing with Matt Riddle. A lot of the personal dislike I have for her gets put into what I say about her. So I'm just going to leave it at Liv and Raquel take the titles.
Understandable. I think the thing with Liv, especially with her first title run, I think she did cash in on Rousey. People were like, what the fuck?
She did.
We were like, wow. I think the thing with Liv is that Liv didn't find her character until a little bit later. Like, I love crazy kind of invoking her inner Jeff Hardy, Liv Morgan. Like, it's actually phenomenal.
We've done so much bashing Liv Morgan on the podcast.
No, but when I think her match at Extreme Rules, when she was like kind of unhinged, I was like, she's got it. I was like, this is the Liv Morgan that we need. Like, just this crazy psycho, and then she gets injured, and then they relegated her to the tag team division. But like, her and Raquel were trying to make it work, and they just got cut short. That's why I think they are going to get these tag titles back. Well, I'm assuming you really don't care about this match.
I don't care, but I think Ronda and Shayna are keeping them because who cares with this makeshift other two random tag team?
Of all the makeshift tag teams outside of Chelsea and Sonya, which Chelsea Green is just Alicia Fox in disguise.
Her TikToks are really
Who,
fun.
Chelsea Green? Did you see what they put up on WWE? Like, they've been starting staging her TikToks?
Yeah. It was a compilation. It was really
Compilation,
funny.
her big
She gets out of the car in traffic. Did you really just honk at me?
Brilliant. What I will say, Liv and Raquel were getting there to try to make themselves at least look like a legitimate tag team with like matching gear and stuff. And I feel like they had something going. It was just cut short. But also, Shayna and Ronda, and they're still at this time. From a, I guess, more of a global perspective outside of the marks, they are the bigger name, especially Ronda. And you know,
Dude,
gonna
I
do something.
forgot Ronda was on the roster, to be honest. Like, her star power is gone. No one cares about Ronda Rousey
She
anymore.
can't talk. That's the issue. And Shayna's a better talker, but not by much. What?
Shayna, I think being, and I didn't mean to interrupt, but I
Go right
think
ahead.
Shayna being put with Ronda is kind of not doing anything for Shayna.
It's supposed to help Ronda, but it does bad for Shayna.
And look, if this was Ronda Rousey from like 10 years ago, when she was still like the undefeated, badass or whatever, that'd be one thing. But she gets no response from the crowd. And as like a wrestler, that is the worst thing you can get. At least Baron Corbin gets a reaction from the crowd. Like, my daughter calls him the Toilet King. I don't know how she came up with that.
Wow.
No, wait.
Wow.
It's when
New name.
It's when he was.
New name for Baron
He
Corbin.
was King Corbin. It was King Corbin, and he was being carried. And she goes, "Mom, why is he pooping?" I go, "He's not pooping." And she's like, "Well, he looks like he's sitting on a toilet. He's a toilet king." And I'm like,
I love it. That's
I don't know what to
amazing.
say.
That is amazing.
She's evil. My child is
I'm gonna
something.
tag
I don't know
Baron
what she
Corbin
is, but
in
she's
this
something.
later because he does respond to social media. She's got a chef messing with him on TikTok. He does.
But
I did hear about that. It's pretty
Chef
funny.
reactions is really funny with Corbin.
But Shayna was
Toilet King.
Yeah, just give my daughter
We
credit.
will.
That's all I ask.
We will. Bum ass
Okay.
Toilet King. So anywho, yeah, this is going to be a toss up for the tag titles. I wouldn't be surprised if they hide this somewhere in the middle of a card. And that actually is the last match on the card that we have here. So Money in the Bank again is going on this weekend from the O2 Arena in London, 3 p.m. start time on the East Coast. So you guys have no damn excuse not to miss it. It's in the middle of a freaking Saturday. You can take your afternoon out, watch this, and go about your Memorial Day week, not Memorial Day, fault, July 4th weekend, or Canada Day for my people up north. Happy Canada Day in advance. Frets and not Slack, but also the Queen Danny Nolan. So be that as it may, what do we expect from this Money in the Bank Premium Live event, formerly known as a pay-per-view, in a score of 1 to 10 crowns, 1 being the worst pay-per-view ever, like that Exploding Deathmatch main event, or 10 being the greatest thing that you have ever seen? Alexis, how do you think this Premium Live event will go?
I'm gonna give it at least maybe a 6.
Ooh,
low.
that's pretty low.
Because I know the only thing that I'm personally interested in is the bloodline imploding, all the super kicks that it's gonna be flying around, and the men's Money in the Bank match, and what Seth Rollins is gonna wear.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know.
Six is still
I'm not.
low.
Ex-
though. Wow.
I'm not expecting much. Like, I'm just not expecting much, which sucks because Money in the Bank is actually one of my favorite matches of the year.
Mhm.
I mean, the women's could be a sleeper match. I mean, any of these matches could honestly be a sleeper match, but I don't know. I just don't feel the hype for it this year.
Understandable. Will Terrachuk, how much are you going with this? How many crowns?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. In Forbidden Door, we didn't crown Forbidden Door. I'm gonna give Forbidden Door 7.5. 7.5 for Forbidden Door. But this one, I'm gonna give a strong 8.5. I think it's a great card. There's a few duds I don't care about, but I'm open to be surprised.
Yeah.
So.
For me, I'm also going to give it a strong 8.5. I think it's going to be a really, really solid show. I have this visual now of Seth coming out as one of the British Royal Guards with like the hat and everything.
That would be cool. No, that's what Cody's probably going to come out like.
I think Cody's going to be Homelander Cody. We're going to get British. We're going to get Royal Guard British Seth, and I think we're going to have Colonial Logan Paul because he would be that obnoxious of a heel.
That'd be good. Oh, and Selena
hope
Vega
he
comes out
gets-
as a skeleton of Queen Elizabeth.
No.
Oh,
She definitely comes out as a Street Fighter character. I don't know which one though.
Yeah, Street Fighter 6
this-
to just come out, so that makes sense.
the Scott British or the Scott Irish Welsh part of me wants to just bust out laughing right now, but the other part's like, no, don't you dare.
This is in a box,
Like
Liz is in a box.
I want Logan Paul to come out with like the drums and everything. Like,
He's gonna get booed so
And a mustache.
yeah, I
Loud.
can't wait for it either. I can't wait.
And a powdered wig.
Yes, I want powdered wig Logan Paul.
powder.
Oh, I could.
And like servants holding prime.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
Pretty much. I can't wait for it, but I'm very excited for Money in the Bank. If you are, like I said, or like we said earlier, in the New York City area and you want to watch it with Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano, be sure to show up at Dave & Buster's right outside of the Barclays Center. They're going to be hosting a WWE official watch party where you could win tickets to WrestleMania, as well as a prize pack of Money in the Bank, in the Money in the Bank briefcase with official WWE merch. It's completely free too, which is pretty crazy. So thanks, WWE. Hopefully you do that again in the future. But with that being said, we're pretty much done. First and foremost, Alexis, thank you for joining us and being a part of one of our big shows of the year. You have been wonderful as always. You again, obviously, you're more than welcome anytime. I think this is your first time interacting with Alexis.
Yes.
You're a great guest. You and the rest of your girls are welcome back anytime on the show. But before we do get going, is there anything that you would like to plug?
follow us on Twitter, Down for the Count 19. You can see it right here. You can follow us on Instagram at D4TC_19. Check out our girl Tiff, our fearless leader. Her YouTube and Instagram page is Psych Design TV 2, TOO. She goes live every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday talking about WWE, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. You can follow Down for the Count on Anchor, Google Podcast, and Spotify. And really, that's it. Just, thanks for everyone who's supporting us. Thanks for letting me come back on the show. I have a blast with you guys. And just, we got some things working on, and hopefully when I'm done with college, things will be a lot easier.
Yeah, seriously, tell us all of your cybersecurity secrets that you've learned, because we need to know as soon as possible.
I will make sure I do that on the extreme down low.
That's perfectly fine. That's exactly how I would like it to be. Are you going to be joining us for the post show, or are you going to be skedaddling?
I can join for the post
Great, because
show.
we're gonna play some quick games of Am I the Asshole?
Awesome. I just have to go check on my kid first, make sure she's still okay.
Go right ahead. While you do that, Will Tarashak, can you get us out of here, please, sir?
Yes, sir. Let me hit that button. Love this button.
I haven't heard that one in a while. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 345, Money for the Marks 2023, our 8th time we've been doing this special, which means it's like my 8th year doing this goddamn show, which is absolutely bonkers. I've enjoyed my time. It's really opened up my world. Thanks for Will Tarashak for just saying, hey, just come back next week, and that's how it really all started.
Never leave.
Yes, you can find me at Ambassador Biggs across all social media outlets when I decide to pop my head in again. Find Kings of the Rings podcast at KOTR_podcast across all social media. Like, share, subscribe, leave us 5-star reviews. If you want to support us, you can even join our $5 Patreon, or more importantly, we have some great merch of all different styles and colors and sizes and designs. Will has his merch. I have my merch. KOTR has the merch. Wrestle Addict Radio has a bunch of merch featuring all of our shows, which includes the WrestleMania podcast, the Brace for Impact podcast, and the Young Lions Perspective podcast. You can follow Wrestle Addict Radio at addict_wrestle on Twitter and Wrestle Addict Radio everywhere else on social media. The links to all of that stuff, including our merchandise and everything in between, is in the description below, wherever you are listening to us or you are watching us right now. once again, Alexis, thank you for joining us. We will definitely have to collaborate. We need to get on Down for the Count Wrestling podcast. I want to do an all women's podcast. I want to be in that atmosphere. I used to hang out in sorority houses, so I'm okay with this. I'm okay.
God,
It has been a while. It has been a while, but.
We're not really a sorority. We're more of like a fraternity with just girls who swear and yell out.
That's a sorority. That's a sorority. That's pretty much what a sorority is. Anyway, we're gonna keep this conversation going on the post show. But first, Will Tarashok. Happy anniversary,
Ladies
happy
and gentlemen.
anniversary, I guess.
I know. Happy anniversary to us.
Happy anniversary!
It has been a wild 8 years, Ricky.
Jesus
It's been a crazy
Christ.
experience on this podcast. There's no other man I'd rather do it than the man yourself. So thank you for keeping this podcast alive.
You're
Ladies and
very
gentlemen, we're just getting
welcome.
started. We are just getting started. We got 8 years and counting because this podcast is the fun podcast. I mean, other podcast is a business podcast. Being talking with Tarashuk, T's and Thomas, Arashuk. A lot of fun stuff coming from next. I am a professional podcast host, which I do this shit for a living. But in the last few minutes here, I want to say a big RIP to Stitcher. Stitcher has announced yesterday that they're closing their doors officially. The podcast platform I've listened to podcasts on for the past 12 years. So
Wow.
officially moving over to Spotify, and it hurts my soul. But Stitcher, you're the real one. RIP to a legend.
R.I.P. to legend. When we come back next week, folks, we're going to do all of our Money in the Bank recap. Hopefully no one has cashed in. Probably not, because there's going to be some woman who's going to cash in at some point. Probably Io cashing in on
Dave's
Asuka.
coming back.
What's up?
Dave's coming back. Dave's cashing in.
Dave's cashing in. Oh my God, we should have definitely done a Money in the Bank giveaway where one of our Hall of Famers can cash in an appearance one day.
Cash in on K and his
Yeah.
Can I just do a quick shout out
Go
real
right
quick?
ahead.
Because this is from my mom and dad, because my mom actually listens to the show.
Hey, Mom.
And she's like one of our biggest supporters. Today is her and my dad's 50th wedding
Wow.
anniversary. So congratulations to my mom and dad.
Yes, that's the golden one.
Congratulations, Mom
That's the
and
golden
Dad.
one, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And here's to a couple more years, because I'm not ready for them to go anywhere. But congratulations to my mom and dad.
Absolutely.
So.
Congratulations to the parents of this wonderful, wonderful young woman, Alexis, 50.
Stop lying. They know that's not her.
Well, you're the one who revealed it anyway, folks. We'll be back next week. Money in the Bank recap. Cashing in on something. Goodbye. Good night. Fuck you, Slack. I don't care how cool you are. And we'll see you soon.
That's Chris Jericho's 1997 WCW theme song.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll probably get flagged for.
Oh,
We'll
wow.
probably get
Song.
flagged for copyright at some point, but it's perfectly fine.
Hey, you can't be copyright when you can't copyright something that no one listens to.
Yes, they still can. It's happened before. Oh my
Oh my
God. Are you looking at our tip of the crown poster?
Not the N64 poster.
Yes, welcome to our Tip of the Crown post show, where we look at the best memes and tweets in the wrestling world on a weekly basis, mostly curated by Mr. Frets. I do pop in from stuff from time to time, especially like,
Yeah, Fress does a good job saving
yeah,
our segment.
Jungle Boy Jack Perry as the Lego thing is amazing. Look, by the way.
That is really funny.
That's really cool.
Also, the matches we have Forbidden Door at home, which I forgot what match that was on Raw, but it was fantastic. How are Yankees doing, by the way?
They
Shitty.
They
started.
just started, okay. Yeah, all right. So let's pull up an IMB asshole. Alexis, I'm assuming you've probably seen an IMB asshole on other social media, where we just pour into Reddit and find something absolutely ridiculous to comment on because it helps the time pass by.
I love these things so much.
Oh yeah, I'm so happy I found this because it's made our post show that much more exciting. Because we literally just like pull something out of our ass. I was like, "Ooh, this seems fun."
Dying over that one.
And we're literally just going by because people just love to post stuff anonymously. Let's see what we have here. Wow, first one off the bat that I saw. This is amazing. Are we ready? Whew, here we go. Am I the asshole for not letting my brother hide behind the dead wife card anymore?
Jesus.
Oh,
The gross.
okay.
Yeah.
Lay it
This
on
is
me.
the first one that came out the bat. Okay. Posted 6 hours ago. Uh, yeah. She is a 30-year-old female. Her brother, who's 34 and a male, lost his wife a year ago. They have 3 girls, 12, 5, and 3. My brother was definitely one of those husbands who worked, came home, played with the kids, but that was it. His wife ran the show, chores, raising the kids, making sure they went to school and activities, all the cooking, etc. All on top of her own full-time job. She died quite unexpectedly, and to say he was lost is an understatement. So I stepped in to help. Some may call it enabling, but it was that or my nieces would suffer. They do their part around the house, what's appropriate for their ages, obviously. I've been trying to teach my brother to do the rest. I understand he just suffered a massive loss, and a lot of his inability to learn I put on grief. But as we close in on 14 months since her passing, he definitely has just used me to replace his wife in all ways domestic. I've tried talking to him about it before, and he'd pull the "my wife just died" card again on me, and I let it slide. My final straw was when I went on a work trip, came back to chaos. The house was cleaned because the girls did more than their fair share. Obviously, they should have chores, but by his own admission, he did nothing despite having the he did nothing despite having the time to do so. Oldest told me she was the one making sure the little ones went to school/daycare. She's done all the cooking. She had to give up an end of the year dance because my brother asked her to watch the girls so he could go out with friends. I had a come to Jesus meeting and told him he needs to get his shit together. I'm doing one more quote tutorial day and that's it. He needs to either hire a housekeeper or nanny because he can afford both. If he's not interested in doing that, in doing his share of the chores or taking the kids anywhere, he needs to get a calendar to remind himself when stuff needs to get done. I said it was this or the girls come to stay with me until he gets his act together. He started on the whole "I just lost my wife" stuff again, and I pointed out the girls lost their mother too, and now it's like they lost their dad as well. He asked if I was calling him a bad dad, and I did not answer, which pissed him off. He said, as family, I should be willing to help. I said I'd help, but I'm not his wife. Now the girls are staying with me. My family says I should have kept helping him versus berate him, and that I'm heartless for not being empathetic enough. They added it's my fault the girls are missing their dad because I gave him the ultimatum, and if I just kept helping, they'd still see him. It seems no one is on my side. There's an edit here. She goes on to say, comments telling me to send those girls back and let CPS get involved if he doesn't get better will not be entertained.
No!
That's not...
a terrible
Yeah,
idea.
she said, that's not punishing them, it's hurting the girls. Save your fingers typing that one out. Anywho, that is the end of the story. Is she the asshole?
Not the asshole. Not the asshole at all.
I'm gonna...
That's a tough one.
What's up, Will?
That's a really tough one.
I'm gonna say no. And it's hard because as someone who is a mental health professional, I do understand that grief comes in waves, and it's not just grief; it's trauma, and sometimes that, and a lot of the time, most often, all the time, that doesn't leave you. You just kind of learn to live with it. You know, it's something that kind of molds you, and it doesn't really define you, but it molds you. It kind of changes your perception of how things go, and that's hard, and that's hard to deal with. I mean, this man's 34, lost his wife, 14 months ago. That sucks, and I could understand how somebody who's essentially my age would have a difficult time getting over that. However, my question is, has
14 months is a long time, though.
it is,
Yeah.
but it's also...
To be this debilitating.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions of how long has he known her? Is this like a high school sweetheart? Is it someone you know from childhood? Which would make it, somewhat worse. My other question is,
How long were they
how long were they
I
married?
guess,
How
yeah.
long?
Yeah.
Not even how long were they married? Because it could have been just a quick marriage, but like how long were they together?
True.
Yeah,
that's a better question.
But also my other thing is, did he even try to seek out professional help? Did anybody recommend professional help for him? To at least talk this out, or was he just left to his own devices? Which it sounds like, knowing typical man behavior, he probably just bottled it up and did everything in his power not to go to therapy. On the flip side of it, he has a responsibility to those children.
Yeah,
you
kids,
know,
kids got to come first,
and
Yeah.
especially after that long.
and it's not
And-
and it's not like his family, especially his sister, didn't try to assist him.
Right.
And she has to live her life too. I don't know.
And yeah, say she's got to move
She's
on.
got to live her life.
Yeah.
We don't know if the sister's married or has any children to herself, and like it's kind of like she's pulling double duty. That's not fair to her.
Well, even if she wasn't married or she doesn't have her own family, she has her own life.
Yeah.
She has a job. And where were the other members of the family coming to help him? Why was she the only one who seemed to be the only one they were giving like support to? Like, my worst fear is losing my husband.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and we have a child, and I know that if God forbid something does happen to him, I need to grieve. But at the same time, like you said, she also lost a father. So I need to get my shit together for her.
Yeah.
Grieve when she's not there. But even if it's a fake front, you need to put on a fake front for your kid. I don't like that where he's not even trying, because I can understand like 3-6 months, it's 14 months.
It's a long time.
And yeah,
long
it's
time.
Just, and those girls need help. What'd you say the ages were? Like 12?
It was like, hold on, I'll tell you officially right now.
Okay.
It was, as of this writing, the girls were 12, 5, and 3.
You still have, so you have a teenager, and it seems like he's just like, you take care of them.
But at
The 3-year-old
12,
has
like,
no-
are you out at like? I'm not putting that on a 12-year-old.
No,
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
3-year-olds and 3 and 5-year-olds don't know how to process
They
grief.
know their
They
ass
don't
from their elbow.
understand. Yeah, and like one of my aunts died when my daughter was 5.
Mm-hmm.
And she to this day takes it really hard. Like she can't process death and grieving. This is new to her. And leaving that all for a 12-year-old to do, that's not cool. And I mean, the sister, she took the girls. It's not like, they were living in filth conditions, but it's just like, to me it sounds like he is using it as a crutch.
Yes.
Which sounds horrible. But you have 3 daughters that are depending on you, and it's not all about you. If you felt like you can't take care of them for a little bit, they're in the safest place they can be at with her.
Yeah.
I just don't like it how it was just her helping him, and now the rest of the family wants to jump in and chime in all of a sudden. And it's like she's got her own stuff to do, and now she's got to raise these. I don't want to say raise, but she's taking care of these 3 girls.
Yes.
You gotta
And
help
it's like-
when you should.
Where's the help for the girls? Where is the support system for these girls at? Because it all just seems to be about him. Where especially the 3-year-old,
Yeah.
like that's still like that time you're still bonding with your mom, and now she's not there. But like, where's the support for the girls at? That's just everything just seems to be about him.
Yeah. And it could be used. He could be using a crutch to not do anything, and that's not fair to anybody involved.
No.
And he needs to process it. And like you said, someone there. I mean, there's a bunch of child therapists everywhere in the world. Like, there needs to be some professional mental help so that everybody in that family can process what has transpired. Because it looks like they're just hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, man. Sometimes like you gotta grieve. You also gotta step up and be a man. And sometimes that means getting help.
Yeah.
Yep.
Getting help and just talking about it.
But like you gotta grieve and be a dad. Like you can't just you have
which
to.
is
How do you fuck
which
around?
is hard. Which is it's difficult.
Which is very
Yeah.
hard. I don't want to make it sound like it's
Yeah.
easy, and I can't imagine going through that. But that's what you have
And
to
that's
do.
wh-
That's your responsibility as a father and a
And
man.
that's-
You just gotta deal with it.
And
man.
that's when you have to
gotta
seek
deal with
out
it.
help, even if not from a mental health professional. You seek out help from family, but you don't use help as a crutch to abdicate from your duties. Oh, he's muted.
And it's just, yeah, and it's just like and being a mom's like a full-time job, and it's just like if he didn't even seem to like even realize what was going on in those kids' lives.
He could be in one of those crazy. He could be in the kind of, which is a very long way to be in that phase of grief. But grief is one of those things that still is being studied a lot in the mental health field. We don't really have a grasp on it completely, but we have a good idea. But even then, you need to seek help, or somebody should be assisting him to try to seek out help in some way, shape, or form outside of his sister. You know.
Yeah, you gotta deal with in a healthy manner, whatever that
Yeah.
means.
All right. So you ready to move on?
And
Yeah, let's do a fun one, Ricky. Come on, you can
Yeah.
get Debbie Downer.
Listen, it was the first one that
Dead
caught
wives
my
and
eye. I was
kids.
like, "Ooh, this is a good one." This one is.
oh,
this one-
and I found out that June is actually Men's Mental Health
It is.
Month,
That
which
is correct.
is something that is extremely overlooked.
God, they could have picked not Pride Month. Come
There's
on,
a lot of stuff.
Everyone
There's a
loves
lot of
Pride
stuff that
Month.
happened in
It's
June.
also, I think this is also like Asian Heritage Month. I'm not
No,
entirely sure. But there's-
Asian Pacific.
AAPI, I think, is
Heritage Month.
April.
yeah.
AAPI, I believe,
well,
is
I don't know,
April.
man.
I have a
I just-
calendar of all the stuff because I'm part of a DEI committee at my agency. So we look at all the holidays, but I think AAPI is April if I remember correctly.
Yeah, to your point though, men's mental health is severely overlooked.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, and so if you have the abilities to do so, you should always seek out mental health. Because, like I tell people, don't take it from me, from a mental health professional. Oh, here's what I'm gonna say: everybody needs someone to talk to from time to time.
Yeah.
That's all. That's it's a conversation. It's a controlled conversation, but a conversation regardless.
Yeah. At the same time though, if you don't want therapy's not going to
No,
help
that's
you.
true. I get
was
that.
I was in a position where I was not ready for therapy, and it didn't help me. But when I was, it changed my
Yeah.
life. You know, that's just how it works. Oh, there's Waldo. That's just how
My
it
husband,
works.
my
Yeah, my
husband's kinda
desktop
going-
background is now where's
Nice.
Waldo.
my husband's kind of going through that. He just recently started going to see a therapist, and it's been like a total change. So, like, if you hear any of these like wannabe alpha male podcasters say, you know, it's weak for men to cry or show their emotions,
Not at all.
honestly, women and dudes too find it very attractive when a man is open with them. You don't have to be like, you know, like that kind of thing. But like, because you saw like a pretty sunset, but like, just be open with your emotions, because like toxic masculinity is not attractive.
No, it's not.
I'd rather be with somebody who's like, hey, I need to talk to you because my brain is making the bad juice that goes into my head, instead of somebody being like, I'm a Jude, we don't talk, like that kind of thing.
I'm waiting for the day now for Orange Cassidy to start bursting in tears out of nowhere.
Although, Ricky, have you ever seen your dad cry?
No, I have not.
I've never seen. I know. I can think of. There's been 3 times in my life my mom has seen my dad cry, and I've never. I saw them once, but that was the death of his dad. At the
Okay, that
funeral.
makes
So
sense.
that's
Does that count though? Does that count though?
Yeah, we'll go yes, but that's like okay, duh. Like I think it was. I think it'd be more
Yeah.
weird if he didn't cry, right? Because he's the oldest. But like to your point, yeah, it's not healthy for men to bottle up emotions. But I think there's an appropriate time to express those emotions. Like when you say men that shouldn't cry, I think. I don't want to cry in front of my kids when I have kids, because I want to have that sense of control and, you know, safety and like all that stuff. But there is an appropriate time to cry in front of anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
The thing that I like to tell people too, when I get asked questions like, "Oh, am I crazy or not?" and I'm just like, according to this, no. But like the thing you have to look at, especially from the mental health perspective, from what I've been taught, is like, are you having a reasonable reaction to? Are you having an appropriate reaction?
Yes.
To a situation. You know,
Right.
that's the big thing. If you're not what like pretty much would be like, if you're not having what the common person would see as an appropriate reaction to the situation, we might have a problem. You know, that's
Yeah, if you're a man and have problems crying in front of your partner, that's a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
I think that's a problem.
Anyway, all right, let's move on. This one's about a dog.
Ooh, puppy.
Oh, please make sure. Is it a nice one?
We'll find out. It's
Oh no.
Am I the asshole for dancing my dog's grave?
no.
Aw.
This one,
On the anniversary of put him down.
Dude.
yeah.
Incorrectly.
Yeah. Sparky always loved dancing. Anyway, it's called Am I the Asshole for Telling Someone I'm Not Friendly When Their Dog Came Up to Me? So it states, went to a brewery restaurant with my wife. Ooh, I love breweries.
Oh God. Okay. Interesting choice of words here. Why bring a dog to a brewery? First of all.
You'd be
Because they have
They have the dog
seating
parks and stuff,
outside,
yeah.
and they're cool with like
Okay.
dogs
Yeah.
coming out.
breweries are great.
I can't take my dog. He humps everything now.
All right, he went to a brewery with his wife. Our name was called, and to get our table indoors, we had to cut through the patio. We got stopped for a few moments behind a table, leaving and saying goodbye. In those moments, a lab-type dog gets up and starts sniffing my ankles. I look at the owners and say, "What the hell?" and point at the dog. They say just a class line, "Oh, don't worry, he's friendly." I admit I was a touch rude. I just said, "I'm not friendly." They pull the dog back under the table. They start saying, "If you aren't friendly, you shouldn't be coming to a dog-friendly restaurant." I tell them just
Oh, fuck you.
I tell
Fuck
I tell
you.
them just because the place is dog friendly doesn't mean that it's okay for your dog to come up to me. I don't want it in my fucking space. They seem baffled that someone didn't like their dog. He called me an asshole and told me to find somewhere else to walk. I say fuck up as we head to our table. My wife was like, "You're right, but could have been friendlier." Was Ivy
Yes. Correct. Very correct.
Was Ivy asshole? There's an edit here too. Edit. Indoors is not dog friendly. Outdoors is dog friendly. My wife and I specifically chose indoor seating because it was not dog friendly. This guy clearly is not a pet person.
Not the asshole, and I can say this as a dog owner. I think that the taking your dogs to certain places are getting crazy. Like, look, I have been attacked by dogs. My dad have been attacked by dogs. I still love dogs. My dad not so much, but keep your dogs near you. Don't have them going up to people because you don't know, like, they just may not like dogs. And I have seen people kick dogs just because they don't like them. I don't think the guy was an asshole. Honestly, he sounds like the person kind of sounds like, "Oh, what do you mean I can't bring my dog into a Starbucks to order?" Like, why the fuck did you bring your dog to Starbucks in the first place, motherfucker?
Clearly want a puppuccino. Hello.
Get some whipped cream and do it at home like I do with my dog. But it's just,
We got puppuccinos at home.
like that. I hate dog owners like that because they're like the people who, now I cuss in front of my kid, and she knows not to say those words because those are mom and dad words, and she can't say them yet. But, I'm not gonna, I cuss like a sailor, but that's like the equivalent of somebody coming up being like, "Hi, my 2.5-month-old just doesn't like swearing, and I just heard you use the F word. You should not use the F word around my child." And I just go, "Fuck you, lady."
Give your kids earplugs, douchebag.
She's 2 months old, and I can't. I mean, I hate dog owners like that because, like, my dog was a little special guest star last time I was on.
Yes, he was.
Because he wouldn't stop crying. And we literally got him from somebody who found him on the side of the road.
Ooh.
Like in the middle of nowhere. And he's a sweet dog. He's energetic, kind of stupid, but he's a sweet dog. And he wouldn't hurt anybody. And people are like, "Oh, where'd you find him at?" I'm like, "Literally on the side of the road." And they're like, "Oh, well, we got our dog from a breeder." I'm like, "Your dog eats the same trash that my dog does. It's not better. Is your shit gold? No."
Well, my dog originally came from a breeder, then he was abandoned. So technically, my dog also came from a breeder. Douchebag.
I hate dog owners like that. It's just,
Yeah.
it's
This
just
guy,
like,
this guy's not an asshole, but he might be a douchebag.
Yeah, he sounds like a douche.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not wrong, but he definitely handled the situation pretty poorly. Because at the end of the day,
wait a
listen,
minute.
you
Why were they-
can train your dog as well as you can train your dog. At the end of the day, it's still a
still an
dog.
animal.
It likes to smell new
Yeah.
things, and
It
you.
likes the
It's
hump,
not.
it likes the pee.
Yeah, you can't really teach a dog manners. You know what I mean? You can teach it things, but at that point, it's gotta go. Hey, dog. Like, hey, Sparky, come back. What are you doing? Get away from him,
Yeah.
right? But. And as a guy, you just kind of go, "Hey, man, just keep your dog away from me. It's all good."
Yeah.
So that's just how that situation should
Maybe
go.
he
Like,
has
yeah,
really
keep your dog
sensitive
back.
ankles.
Maybe.
Let
Yeah.
me take that back because I'm thinking it's like if he didn't like dogs, why were they waiting on the patio instead of waiting inside?
He said they were.
He said they had to go. They had to go
Oh.
through the patio section to get to inside.
Yeah.
So why was he waiting outside then, like where the dogs in the patio were?
I don't know.
No.
It's weird. Like, control your dogs. I really hate that because it's like people
Ricky,
who take those. No, people who take their dogs to those things, and then you're trying to eat, and this dog walks up to you and sits down and stares at your food, and you're like, "Fuck off! You aren't my dog. You're not getting any."
I actually got an "Am I the Asshole" from the Metro North
From
today.
the
This
Metro
is,
North. Wow.
Jazz was telling me this earlier. So there's this woman on her phone, like just talking on the phone, and there's a mother and her daughter in front of her, like in like the next seat up.
Okay.
And this woman's just on the phone. This little girl is like 10, 11 years old, and she's just staring at the woman on the phone. And she turns on and asks her mother a question, like about the phone. So she's clearly listening to a phone conversation.
Okay.
And she's asking her mother a question about the phone call. And then this woman just freaks the fuck out on the phone and ends up Pause. And ends up slapping the little girl, like across the face.
What, all right, the little girl who's not her daughter.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so am I the asshole for slapping this little girl for eavesdropping on my phone?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty easy.
You are the asshole.
I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Slapping a child that
Yours,
isn't
yeah.
for listening to your phone call.
Also,
How about maybe not having your phone call, like, she's probably one of those assholes who has like a very important phone call on speakerphone.
oh yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, that is totally me, just not in public.
Listen, do not have
anywhere I go, I wear my headphones plugged into my phone. And that way I can kind of have some sense of privacy. If you slap my kid and see what happens.
Yeah, she just slapped this little girl across the
that's
face.
fighting words. That's a world star video in the making. But also,
That's the Metro North
right.
for you.
Don't have a private conversation in public. It's pretty simple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Pure and simple.
Don't have a private conversation in public, and you can just eliminate all of that. All right, are we ready for one final one that we're going to get out of here?
Yeah, one more. Then
This one's a good one. I think this one's a good one. It's pretty lengthy, I'm not going to lie. But I find this comical just by the title alone. It says, "Am I the asshole for telling my wife she is my type after she bashed my taste in women?"
Ooh. Okay, continue.
Okay.
He starts out as saying, "I adore my wife. She's the best thing that ever happened to me, and I can't wait to start a family together." Okay, so there's no children involved. "She's also an absolute knockout in the looks department, and knows she is." Oh, one of those. Whenever the subject of exes or crushes or just talking about someone I had previously said I thought was pretty, she starts unloading on them about their looks, how she can't figure out why I'd ever think they were attractive, or that she doesn't understand my taste in women. This went on for a while, and I never said anything because I truly don't give a fuck about any of those people, only her. So what's the point of sticking up for someone not relevant to my life? But eventually, it started to bother me. I started to feel like I was being insulted because I was never interested in these girls. Sorry, not never. I started feel like I was being insulted because I was ever interested in these girls. I eventually spoke up and explained that when she's relentlessly bashing these women, it actually makes me feel bad about myself. Look at men talking about their feelings. Like I've never been with a beautiful woman and my entire dating history is disgusting. Sure, not every girl I've dated is a smoke show, but that wasn't really relevant to our relationships or why they didn't work out. She is objectively correct about some of the exes being average or below average in looks, but several of them are objectively gorgeous. It always puts me in a rock and a hard place because ultimately it doesn't matter because they aren't in my life, and all I want is a happy life with her. But there's a part of me, my ego, that wants to resist because it feels so disparaging and belittling towards me. We talked it out and she said that she would stop. It never really stopped, but I just avoided the subject or agreed with whatever she said when the subject came up. Until today when the subject came up again. Dun dun dun. We were reminiscing We were reminiscing about the first night we met. Oh, it's gonna be good. She had come to a bar with another guy who I thought she was dating. One of our first conversations was about mutual friends and asked if she knew a brown-haired girl that worked at her company that was cute. Fast forward to years of dating and marriage, and we can't remember the girl's name while reminiscing. We gave the old Facebook a snoop and found her. Of course you did. She goes right back into the bash routine, how she can't believe I thought she was cute, and she will never understand my taste in women or my type. I finally had enough and casually dropped, well, you're my type, so you're grouped in with the rest of them. Shit. She flipped out, left me at the cafe we were at, and has basically given me the silent treatment for 24 hours. Am I the asshole?
Not at all.
the asshole.
Yeah, I sort of deal with this situation every now and then because a tenet I truly live by and believe by is to appreciate beauty.
Yeah.
I appreciate beauty of all sides, all sides. Like when we watch wrestling, I make sure to tell Jazz how sexy Roman Reigns is every single fucking time because I appreciate beauty. But to be fair, she does hate it. She does hate it for watching a movie and like Eva Mendes is on screen. I'm like, oh god damn, right? Because to appreciate beauty.
I can't blame you. Eva Mendes is gorgeous.
It's like, hey man, you gotta call a spade a spade. Yeah. But I hyped up that line. It's like, well, you're my type.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Right? And that usually she's like, yeah. You know what I mean? That usually she doesn't get up and walk out of the cafe. Knock on wood. But
I think when Stung, he said, you're grouped in with the rest of them that you bash.
It's a good line, though. That's a good one, dude.
Listen, she didn't learn, and as the young kids say, she fucked around and she found out.
Yeah, dude, this girl's just too self-conscious.
I can just say from the woman's perspective that she seems very insecure with her own self.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That, he's like, oh, she knows she's attractive and all this. And it's like, girl, it shouldn't matter the kind of people that he dated before you. You're the one who got the ring.
Yeah, if all else fails, look at the ring.
Clearly,
you won.
Clearly, he wants to be with you. It, like, I got drunk one night and with my husband watching a WWE event, and he said he had a thing for Alexa Bliss.
Don't blame
right
him.
Off the bat, I was just like, her of all people, like,
Well, it's one letter away from yours.
I mean, I didn't hold it against him. Like, I joke around with him. Like, he has a thing for Rachel Ray. Don't ask me why.
Okay.
But, he's...
Like, I might have a thing.
She's that cook. She's that famous chef or
you
something
don't know
like
who
that.
Rachel Ray is? Well, Rachel Ray's a looker.
Oh, I know. Oh, no, I hate her. She's the fucking worst.
Okay. We good, Will. We good. No, but he's always had a thing for her, and he told me like he never thought he would get with like someone like me, but it's just like I don't sit there and like go through Facebook or pictures of his ex-girlfriends or something and be like, oh, she's ugly. Oh, her hair looks stupid. Oh, blah blah blah. Like, who cares?
Seriously.
You got the ring. And I don't want to sound like a gold digger, but it's just like you're the one he married. You're the one who got the ring.
Yeah.
Like, like Cardi said, I don't cook, I don't clean, but I can show you how I got this ring.
That's very true.
I hate women like that when they tear down other women for their looks. Like, you can be gorgeous on the outside, but you can still be like a burning trash pile on the inside. Like I am a solid 7. I still don't know how my husband puts up with me, but he says, 11 years later and a kid later, he says I remind him of a Victoria's Secret model.
Yeah,
that's how he sees me.
That's a great line right there. I like that. Good job.
And
good move, husband. Good move.
He's just. But I think she's very insecure with her own looks, and I think she has. It looks like she can't tear them down for anything else but their looks, and that is some high school. It'd be one thing if it's like, you go back and you find like a girl, like if like some of them were real, like say like a girlfriend was like a real bitch to him, and like. Was bad to him and all that, and you find out like she's a meth head with like no teeth living on the street. That's the kind of karma you want to celebrate, but not just like, oh, she gained 5 pounds. Oh, you dated her when she was, she was what's the kids call it, thick nowadays, and it's just like. And it's not always based on just looks. You can fall in love with somebody for their personality.
Sapiosexual. But yes, here's the thing. I don't tell people this, but it's always been a thought of mine. Looks will get you in the door. Personality will make you stay.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Correct.
If you have a personality, a sense of humor, and I can have an intelligent conversation with you where neither one of us makes the other one feel stupid, I'm automatic. You could be the ugliest guy in the room, but you make me laugh, I'm yours. Like, because that just goes to show you have a great personality.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks...
That's what got me this far.
Me too. Me too. Seriously.
How do you think I had to be funny? I was not attractive when I was back in the day. I had to be funny.
Yeah, no, that is true.
Trauma, yay!
Yeah, we all have it. We can all... well, next episode, we're all trauma dump on everybody.
Yay!
But yes, no, that was a good amount of the asshole to end up on. She's got some...
Goddamn Roman's so shiny.
He is very shiny.
Oh, I love it.
Sorry.
The wet hair, the big eyes, the fake teeth.
Oh, also,
Hey, no,
Appreciate
those aren't
beauty,
fake,
man.
you guys.
But I appreciate beauty.
so Rico wanted to know, because I did promise Rico we were going to ask you this one question. The Patrick Star... No, the Kirby meme of, like, get in between my thighs or whatever. Rico wanted to know, was that meme on your phone for Shayna or for Samoa Joe?
It was for Rhea, and he knows that.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm slowly indoctrinating a good friend of mine into wrestling, and the two people that have caught her eye have Roman Reigns. So I sent her his TikTok, and Rhea Ripley. She was like, "Who the fuck are they?" And I was,
Man, Rhea's got them tiggle bitties, dude, and a can to boot. God damn, Rhea.
yeah,
Ripley.
Buddy must be real happy.
I'm telling you, Australian women are built differently, man. Because
And then she starts talking though, and I'm just like,
Listen, I love an Aussie accent. As someone who spent like almost a month in Australia, fantastic place. Love them.
Ugh.
is she Australian or is she New Zealand?
No, she's Australian. Dakota's New
Dakota's
Zealand.
the Kiwi. Yes.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
Dakota is the Kiwi.
'Cause I know you never call an Aussie a Kiwi, and you never call a Kiwi an Aussie.
Yeah, they're like Hatfields and McCoys. They really don't like each other. They both collectively hate the UK. They call them Palmies, a.k.a. prisoners of Mother England.
Right.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. Well, if you stay there long enough, you learn to like Vegemite. It's an acquired taste. And you're right, Rico. Dakota is Samoan and Kiwi as well.
I did not know she was Samoan, so that was pretty cool.
So do you remember
and then,
when
like,
Dakota, I think, came, or she had one like big highlight match, and she wore belays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when, and then they had one, I think it was before she got injured, Tamina came with the lace.
That's right, yeah,
and,
Tamina brought the lace for Dakota, yeah.
And Dakota started crying, and that's like a really big deal in Samoan culture. That's like the elders, I don't want to call Tamina old, but that's like the elders giving you the respect or something.
Yeah, like when
that.
Roman won the title,
like, damn.
and he got the necklace from Afonseca.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I just that was, you could tell that meant a lot to her. So I'm happy for her on that.
Yeah, no, congratulations to her. Hopefully she returns. I think she's injured right now.
ACL.
Oh, she got the Tegan treatment.
She's out. Sol Ruka's out. Rico, I know you're in here. Who all is out with an ACL rip? Because Tara, you're the one who knows that. I know her and Sol Ruka are out, but it's around that time of year when people start having the ACL problems.
Yeah. Oh, Rico said, I found out she's Samoan because of a match she had with Ginny on the Indies when she tried to headbutt her. That'll be a good way to find out.
You can never headbutt a Samoan. It has no effect
That's
on
very true. Okay, so you got to explain to me, too, while we still have you for a little bit longer. Alex, we'll probably be gone like 5 minutes or so. I've heard a lot of women talk about the Shayna Baszler obsession. But listen, we have a friend of the show, Nikki Skywalker, who loves Shayna. The Shayna obsession is a thing, and I've come to understand it a little bit, but I've never heard someone speak so lovingly about Samoa Joe. What is it about Samoa Joe?
You know what? So I saw him in Impact, like right when he first started. So it was it was baby Samoa
Wearing
Joe.
those same shorts that for his whole career.
Yeah, you can't. Hey, the man knows what works for him.
Him
Okay?
and Eddie Kingston, same outfits for their whole career.
So it's just like I just found, like that person that you just find like really attractive
Yes.
out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only way I can explain it. And then it's like when I watched interviews with him, he's a smart ass. He has a great sense of humor.
He was hysterical and up, down, down. All praise to the power game.
I just love him, and it's like he looks like the kind of guy who would be such a massive prick in real life, but he's so chill.
Yeah.
Oh, what is it? Ariana Gray, Sol Ruka, Nikita Lyons, and Dakota.
Nikita Lyons. That's Will's favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just the way he smiles and the way he like carries himself, and the fact that like he looks like if somebody was messing with you, he would like rip their arm off and beat the other person with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm kind of attracted to that.
There's a
like,
lot of good Samoa Joe like out of the ring segments. Like, do you remember Edge and Christian's show that reeks of awesomeness?
When he did the Girl Scout
yes.
thing.
That is a great video.
I love that. It's so funny. And it's just, and I think one of the other things, like we were going back talking about Ambrose earlier, is that he's so like low key. He's hardly on social media. He like really doesn't post a whole lot on Twitter. And it's just like, I mean, like, I found out he was married and had like 2 kids or something like that. And I'm just like, damn, because Samoa Joe's married.
Nice.
And he has like 2, and he has kids. And I'm just like, God damn, that's got to be the most intimidating like teacher-parent conference.
Samoa Joe comes in with a fucking towel in the short. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. I'm here to talk to the math teacher.
He's just, I don't know, he's just really cute. Like, he has a cute smile, and he just seems like the kind of guy, like, you could just chill with. And, like, it's real funny, because, like, kind of reminds me of my husband a little bit. So, it's just, he's just a really chilled guy, and I've always respected him for what he did in the ring, because, like, he came out at a time where, like, big guys were not seen as agile. And
one of the
Joe
same
was
indie
out
wrestling
here,
classes as John Cena, if you look back at it too.
Yeah. And Joe was out here doing stuff that they didn't think big guys could be doing in pro wrestling. Like, he was diving through ropes and flipping, and him and AJ Styles matches in Impact will always be my favorite to watch.
Absolutely.
Like, if I ever, it's so many reasons, but I can't tell just one.
I understand. And also, another funny Samoa Joe video, it's the last thing I'll probably say before we get out of here. Look on WWE's YouTube. Find, they have Superstars recap the 2019 Men's Royal Rumble. And it is fantastic.
It's like he comes in, he goes out.
And the highlight of that video, I think it's the 2019 Rumble. It's the one that Drew McIntyre wins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Samoa Joe's commentary about that match is one of the funniest things in the world. It is so good. And I was like, Samoa Joe, don't ever change. Don't ever change, Samoa Joe.
Don't.
All right, but anyway, let's get the hell out of here. It's been a very solid 2 hours and 40 some odd minutes. Thank you guys for joining us. Alexis, thank you as well. Will, I'm assuming everything's uploaded by now.
Yep.
All right, folks, we are going to get out of here. And Rico, you can be a fan of us too. Come back, Rico. Subscribe to our channel on all the socials. You see it below here on the poster. You see all those icons below, all of those funny memes? That's where you can follow us at that handle. Yeah, Rico.
Oh, well, yeah, Rico's actually on Discord too. I'm going to do a quick pop thing for him. Him and our friend Dawn actually do like a fantasy wrestling league.
Oh, I've done those. Those are fun.
They make their own creator wrestlers.
Oh, the WEA?
Oh, they do? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so they're on like Twitch and they have like their own e-wrestling company, eFed?
Yeah. Hang on, I'm asking him something. What's the name of the wrestling thing you do?
Well, we have to
With
get our
the-
WEA together when we get
Yeah.
more time.
So
Yeah,
they make
when I'm
they
a
make
millionaire, I hope
their
that.
they make their own like creator wrestlers using WWE. They have men and women. They do him and our friend Don. They do amazing work on customizations.
The
It's crazy.
DCW Dreams Collide Wrestling. I'll definitely have to find your Twitch stream.
Yeah, they're they're just. I just love watching them, and then they've actually made like me in the game, and they've made Tiff in the game, and like it's real fun because they said my character's like a complete bitch, and I'm like, oh shit.
I was gonna say, Alexis, you have a
You're-
surprise, but I figured you would find out
Oh.
sooner than later. I think that is the official wrap it up because your twin has attacked you.
Okay, I'll be in there in a little bit. Okay. All right, I'll be in there in a second. Okay, come here. I love you. I'll be in there in a second. Scared the shit out of me.
I was gonna tell you, but I was like, oh, you're gonna find out in 2 seconds. So yes, I think that's a.
She's a ninja. And Rico makes all the logos and all the belts too for them. So like, they do some amazing things. Like WWE Design needs to get a hold of these two guys, and I love them for it. So there's your cheap pop, Rico.
There we go, Rico. Thank you for joining us. Please come back soon. Tell all your friends too. We love to have followers and buy some merch, Rico. We know you like merch. We do designs too. Mostly me. The background of Will is a logo I made in like 10 minutes one day because I had an epiphany after a show and I was like, done.
It's excellent.
Anyway, folks, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next week. And hopefully we'll have some castings to do. So yeah, bye.
Bye.